We're live.
Oh God! Why do I always yawn without feeling ready to do something big? All right, I'm ready for my for it to show up. Show up. There it goes. We are live. Yes, sir. All right. Right now, as y'all can tell, whoever's in here, we're a little thin, but no worries. The rest of the fellas will be here. We just went ahead and got started. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let me go ahead and send this to Discord. Preach, how you doing, man?
Doing good, bro. It's good to finally get the Loki backstory going. We've been waiting for a minute. What's going on,
for
chat?
sure.
Let us know what you guys think about the chapter. What do you rate the chapter so far? We got a lot of
Tornado
talk
was
about.
good. We also need to talk about some old stuff. A couple corrections that we got from some old chapters. Have you seen that stuff?
No, I've been off Twitter, bro. I've been completely off.
If only I could be like you. But basically, somehow we got Gunko confirmed to be a part of the Manmeyer family. Is it Myanmar, something like that? And Shamrock's title was updated to add Saint into it. So that kind of kills a lot of them theories about
Yeah.
because it's the volume release. That's why this was all put in the volume release. So it kills a lot of this stuff about him not being a saint because his mom or whatever. But we'll get into it. You saw those corrections? That's funny. Yeah, tons of theories. Literally just got immediately cooked, bro. Like it's hilarious, actually. But it's a little bit wilder with the mistakes. If you really think about it, in Elbaf, he had all the mistakes earlier in the arc about the like with Luffy's weapon changing, calling out the wrong attack name, and all of us was like having theories about fucking. Should I be cussing this? I think it's enough time. All of us was having those theories about if it was like some type of dream world or something, just for it to be able to make mistakes. And now the same has happened in the next volume. So yeah, let's stop taking everything at face value. I guess that's the point, and try to use overarching narratives for theories. Because when is one of those little topics, little details, ever actually led to a theory being correct? We'll see. But how you feeling, chat? Rate the chapter. 11 people in here now like the stream. If I'm talking a lot, it's because I'm making up for 2 people. But it don't really matter. That's kind of my job anyway, right?
Well, I mean, I think we can still carry the stream because there's a lot to talk about. And I want to just mention this real quick before we start. Chat, I watched Dragon Ball Super, or Superhero. I seen the movie for the first time. I know it's 2 years late, but just quick thoughts. Bro, what was that ending? Like, as a Vegeta fan, I'm like, that was kind of crazy, especially because it's like you got 30 years in the making of Vegeta never defeated Goku. And I'm like, bro, and one part of me is like, I wish we could have had like an actual like a storyline fight with Goku and Vegeta where he beat him. But at the same time, like, because it feels like if you beat him in a sparring match, it's cool, whatever. It doesn't have the same weight. You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
But I mean, it was still a fun moment, bro. Like, I feel like that's one of those moments. If I seen it in the theater, I'd be going crazy.
Being a Vegeta fan is interesting, right?
But I'm not gonna lie, bro. That Gohan form was a fucking ass pool, bro.
Yeah, it was. That's just Dragon Ball Z at this point, though, bro. Like, what are we expecting? You feel me?
But it was
not
cool
too much else. It was just cool to me. That's what I said. Just cool. A lot of people either A, completely overrate everything Dragon Ball Z related, or B, act like it's just trash. Like, it was a cool movie,
Yeah, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan, so I had fun with it, and it just makes me like I wish that they would bring back Super and I wish they would continue the manga. Because I actually do
The
like the
art
characters,
style.
and I like the art style. I like the world they've been building with the gods and everything. I wish we could see like
Damn.
Beerus fight at his full power and everything. So there's a lot of stuff I wish we could see in the future, but I feel like I don't know if we'll ever get it. But
I doubt it.
uh,
Asking for a lot of consistency, which isn't really Dragon Ball Z's thing, you know?
yeah,
All right. Chapter 1153, right? Uh, we got something confirmed this chapter I want to talk about. But whatever. Let's go ahead and ask it because this is the most pressing question. Baby Loki, right? The one that was thrown off the to the underworld, killed the monster, climbed back up. Day 1-year-old Loki versus the current Straw Hats, minus Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei. Who's winning?
what you said, Baby Loki versus current Straw Hats besides Zoro, Luffy, and Sanji.
Jinbei too.
Jinbei, I want to say Loki, bro. I want to say.
If he survived that fall, right? This is the same fall that Dorian
All right,
Bruggy was
do you
like,
mean like
not Dorian
actually
Bruggy,
baby Loki, or like the
bro.
silhouette we
Day
see at the
one,
very end?
day one, no, day one.
Damn, bro. Yeah, I want to say Loki,
Fresh out the box.
which is so wild, bro. Because it's a can he even? I mean, bro, the dialogue we see is "Uga." It's not even a fucking word, bro. It's like he can't even speak. Oh man,
I'm looking at I'm leaning towards Loki, bro. I'm gonna
that's
keep it
boss
real with
baby
you.
right there, bro.
That's facts. That's why I said Yonko level baby, bro. Like, because if we being for real, that fall that he survived, Hadrudin and his crew was falling from that same distance and was like, "We're gonna die." This man landed and climbed back up the tree. Did he beat when he beat? I know he beat an animal. Apparently, was that before or after? He was that when he was a little kid, or was that when he was like day one? I think it was when he was one day old, bro.
Oh, I guess the question would be: would any one of those would those Straw Hats survive this?
No, that's dead. But I mean, let's
I think
say,
maybe Frankie could maybe survive.
um, how can they hurt him? Is my question.
Yeah, I mean, but what can he do though? I don't get like he's a baby, bro.
Bro, he beat one of the monsters in the underworld.
What is crazy for this one, bro? What is he?
Like, I mean, we see what he can do. That's a feat. I don't. This man is
It's so
bro.
funny
I
to
don't
me because
see it.
this backstory is tragic, but the whole time I'm reading this, I'm laughing, bro. It's just like I can't take it too serious at the same time.
It's sad, but it's also like it's One Piece.
It's so ridiculous, bro. So dramatic too.
I wonder what the eye thing is gonna lead to, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
where did it? What could have possibly led? It's got to be some ancient giant stuff, but nobody else has had it. So, but she had ancient giant blood in her too. The mom, that is. Oh, and also this horse that's named Ashura. All right, Zoro, let me find out you got some LBAP ties, my boy.
Yeah, because we never, what's funny too with Zoro, we never understood why he was so connected with those like demon techniques. Yeah, it kind of just when Oda never really explained it.
I mean, and on top of that, bro, like you remember in the anime when he had like got the little X-ray when he was he getting shocked or something? And he had the two horns at the top of his head.
Yeah.
That could have been like a little ancient giant hint. I mean, you can just say it was Toei being Toei, but we know how much they love Zoro. They wouldn't do nothing negative for him. So I don't know, bro. What happened to that horse though? Is that the horse that Loki killed? Yeah, I think so. But nah, we
So what do you think about Harold, his journey?
I think that hold on, let me see. Let me go back. I'm looking at it. I felt like the change of heart from him, from what he was, like personality wise, it was a little abrupt. Like it felt like, 1 second he just the biggest asshole ever. He the strong. I mean, I know a woman, basically, a strong a woman can basically change your life and make you look at stuff different. But it did seem like, oh, it took her saying something to him one time. Like you would imagine that it would take like an actual like very big event that somehow affected him to really change him. You know what I'm saying?
My guy's whipped, bro.
That basically like you meet this girl, you don't even know her name. She fussed at you one time and you change your entire life, basically. But I mean, like I said, I get it. A woman can really, what I'm saying, change it. But he was wilding though.
Yeah. Um, you know, yeah, because it is kind of crazy. Because compared to the last, was it the last chapter when we seen him like rampaging and then Harold does seem like kind of a cool dude in this chapter. He doesn't seem like complete villain. He
Yeah, like
seems
he went from basically being called like, pure scum, right? He's
yeah,
literally pure scum. He goes to his village. Like there's nothing that communicates anything at any point where he's like,
or he's evil.
yeah, like he's not even he's just an asshole. So I mean, I guess it makes sense for him to, it makes sense for him to switch. I just expected there to be, I guess, a more impactful event that led to the switch, other than just a girl fussing at him and punching him. Maybe he had never been struck before. Like that. That's why it could have been like impactful. Like nobody ever dared to raise a hand to him, which is fair.
Because he
But at
knows,
the
yeah.
same time, it's like, that was kind of crazy. Mm.
I don't know, bro. Loki's mom is. This is pure evil, bro.
They kind of tricked me initially because when I saw Loki's mom in the not Hadruden's mom in the cage where she had the horns on her head, I was like, yo, she ancient giant too? But maybe them was like props or something. But you see it, right?
It was like the one of the first pages, yeah.
Yeah,
But
she
yeah,
got
I see what you're
horns. I was
saying.
like,
Yeah, yep.
mm-hmm.
She only had it for that one panel.
I'm assuming it's props to scare the people in the circus, but mm. I know that Hasrudin, yeah, he's just a fucking bomb, bro. I ain't gonna lie. There's really nobody's redeeming this dude. What's good, Will of Dreams? Tornado says on Gal Harold can say he's bored and everybody's weak, just attach Mary. That's fair.
Now I was telling Crow before the stream. Oda's now kind of spamming the Joy Boy dance. We seen Hajrudin or not Haj. We seen King Harold and his crew doing the dance. You got the moon in the background, kind of like that Nika or that Gear 5 awakening kind of thing going on. But yeah, I mean, we seen Kuma doing it with Bonnie and Kizaru. I think Brooke, there was a panel with him before. So I mean, it is kind of funny to me. Like, I mean, the LBF Giants do know about Nika, so it makes sense. But it's like, bro, I feel like Hajrunin is not the one to do it. Like it's kind of a weird, it's a weird
Yeah,
character to use it with. Kuma makes more sense. Hajuden, like we don't even it. It's not even like a good. It's not even someone that's on Luffy's side of things. It's just like another royal member of Elbaf.
Have we seen the Straw Hats? Nah, I know they had that one panel in you mean Harold, not Hydruden, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I know we had that panel in Skypedia, but like who else? I guess this counts. Of course, Zoro too cool, but yeah. So I guess we have seen the Straw Hats do it, but the fact that they dancing with wolves is crazy.
Yeah.
Because like what if that's I was gonna make a video. I keep saying I'm gonna make a video about this and this and that, and I'm not. But like you seen like the old volume covers where Luffy, well, you say you haven't been online, but like people have gone back and found old like volume color covers or cover pages where it's Luffy and the crew and it's like a purple dragon with like the same eyes as Loki and a purple wolf.
I haven't seen it, but
I guess the theory has just been like
was it Scott Pugh?
nah, it's just random.
Oh.
The theory is just like kind of like he can shapeshift because of that. You know, the fact that we've seen two different animals that look like they have his same eyes and same color as his hair too. You know, maybe and the actual Loki can also
Oh, you talking about the
shapeshift.
newest volume cover with Loki?
That's where you see how he looks. But there were not volume covers, but color page spreads. You know, like where he just draw the straw has doing some random stuff.
Talking about the one with the wolf?
Yeah, there's one with the wolf with the purple wolf that's like the same color as Loki's hair. And then there's also one with a dragon that's the same color as Loki.
The dragon.
With the same eyes.
Because I remember one with the dragon, but let me find it.
Will of Dreams, dragon cover is recent. Okay, yeah. Will of Dreams says Ida is going to be Saul's sister, Hadruden's uncle, and Hadruden's. Saul is Hadruden's uncle. Okay. Where is she? Did something happen? Wait. Did something happen to Hadruden's mom? Is she still alive? John Sherrod just came through.
Bruh.
Overslept.
Man, my apologies, man. Yeah.
I was calling. I figured that's what happened. I tried to call and wake you up, but
I was out on them streets, man. I didn't even try to go to sleep. That's when the sleep be the best. Like my apologies, fellas. And I saw the message about the sun and everything, man. My bad.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah, how'd you mean? And that boy is a bum.
So I don't get like who is telling this story about Loki?
Loki himself.
But how does he remember something that happened when he was a baby?
That's a good question. Will the Dream says maybe most of that's what I was literally about to say. Like, what if that's some crazy shit though. If Mosa was Hadruden's mom who Loki was talking to, but it would actually be cool because like she knows that that's not how he really is, so she was trying to like make him feel better despite his circumstances.
By
the
the
narrator
way,
is saying score.
Make sure you guys like the stream. We got a few people in here. Let's try to get it up to as many likes as possible.
Yeah, so we can get our numbers back up to normal, you know. That's nasty.
Yeah, that was one thing that was kind of confusing me. Is how would Loki even know what was going on with his mom when he was a baby?
Yeah, it's the narrator. I think Loki is just so in story. What's happening is Loki is telling them what happened with Harold, but us as the fans are being told everything else, right?
Yeah.
But also, I do like that what Will of Dream said, the idea that he be having visions and shit. Like maybe he was able to see this stuff. But now I just think he covered his eyes just because he was shunned by me for it.
But it doesn't really seem like his character though. To I scare people. Oh, I make people uncomfortable with my eyes. Let me cover it up as a service to them. So I really think the reason that his eyes is covered hasn't really been shared yet. I'm expecting that to be a part of what next chapter is about. But
that's true. I agree with that. I will say though, if Oda is pulling the whole thing where he really is a sensitive guy underneath this tough exterior that he's put on, then I can see I can see a very sad panel of him doing it. Who the hell FaceTime me? What the? I'm gonna mute my mic real quick, but I'm listening to that. I mean, I'm here.
But yeah, Chad, what do you guys think about Loki's backstory so far? What about you, JJ? What do you think?
I mean, I think it's interesting. We still got a lot to learn in regards to him. I think that was interesting that they decided to give us the whole Harold backstory when we're really trying to figure out what happened in that room specifically. But in regards to Loki specifically, like, wow, his mom, very, very interesting character. And man, like I sent y'all the message as soon as I got done with the chapter, like we really got to come together and think about like who are some of the worst people when it comes to this story. Cause man, his mom just so quickly just makes you angry. Like, like there's nothing worse than doing people wrong who can't, do for themselves. And like, this baby's a day old and you already tripping. But geez, if that's all that matters is just the aesthetics, it's crazy that he was able to even get in that position. It's tough.
I was put in a scam group call. Some kids trying to play Roblox or something. I don't know, bro. But yeah. Anyway. No, that's facts though. This is actually very sad, to be honest with you.
I didn't even realize first reading it that, him crawling up was after what he did to that, bear. But geez, that was a monster. I just thought like they had, I thought that sucker had a gas on his head just because, you just failed, you know what I'm saying?
Man, that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked Preach. Day one Loki versus the Straw Hats minus Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei.
Oh, geez.
The fact that it's a conversation is sad.
That's very interesting, man. That's very interesting.
That's it's very sad.
I just got to see some. Can Loki even throw a punch, bro? Like,
bro, he ripped a bear's head off with bare hands. I mean, shit. What other Straw Hat is surviving that hit, bro?
Hey man, like I said, I think Frankie he has a chance in
man.
Let's go. Give it to Frankie. I like hearing the first name be Frankie.
Shogun Frankie getting put on his ass, boy.
That sucker turned into some metal real quick, but I appreciate
Frank, the same guy who was pushing Big Mom around in Wano.
Bro, it's different, bro. This motherfucker crazy.
Like, when do a baby even start to learn how to use their arms? Like, for real.
Bro, he's crawling up a tree day one. This motherfucker is crazy. I read this chapter. I was like, okay, you know what? He might be stronger than Luffy. At the very least, they're equals. But this dude is crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. For him to be as looking like this in this chapter. If he ain't really giving, like, me, I've been like, I ain't really worried about Loki, but the way that they made, you got to be like stagnant as hell not to be multiplying. Like, this is some Frieza type energy. Like, this is crazy.
Like, this dude got to be monstrously strong. And this is just him, minus the devil fruit and the weapon now.
But at the same time, Hadouken, you know what I'm saying, Like I imagine Hadrugan, even though he's the weaker, I mean he's the older, he's probably been getting smacked up, but when you fight somebody that's stronger than you, you're supposed to be stronger. So for Luffy to, not even have to use gears to, go upside his head at Dressrosa. Oh
Man, look, this shit, man. How Jordan ask this again. Current Haldruden versus 1 day old Loki. Give me Loki.
No, bro,
It's
really?
literally, listen.
Oh my god.
In the story,
What?
Loki survived this fall. Haldruden just a few chapters ago was talking about we're gonna die if we fall from here. You feel me? Just for him to turn around and tell us that Loki survived this shit. Oh, day one, bro. This man had to prepare to take a moose down. He had to fight that moose. Like he didn't struggle with it, but it was a challenge for him. He like, I got this moose. We got to take down for Luffy. It was a little effort. He had to do a named attack or some shit. Loki killed a fucking bear day one, bro. Ancient giants may be descendants of what the fuck? Demons or dragons. I think I go dragons.
So
that's straight though.
So wait, so one thing, because there was a part where they're telling, I think Harold or oh no, it's Loki's mom, right? And she's telling them like make a fake prophecy that Loki is gonna kill Harold. But I was confused because that's actually what happened. So was that a real prophecy?
I don't think anything that the lady said is a real prophecy. I think she, she wanted to besmirch the child's name and make herself look okay for the decision that she made. But things just happened to turn out the way that they turned out. So I mean, I really feel like everything that the Loki had to deal with, and his, possible terrible upbringing was the fact that the mother, was speaking so bad on it from the beginning that, one or two people hear it and spread it around, it starts becoming a legend of its own. So
yeah, and then that's interesting because it makes me wonder if Loki was really the one who killed Harold.
That's it.
Like I'm not sure. That's...
Man, at the end of the chapter, it does say that they were blamed. He started like getting blamed for everything.
Yeah, so I'm starting to doubt that might be the truth because if there is this whole narrative that Loki's going to do it. I mean, it can make sense why people believe it. I think Loki probably defeated Harold, but I'm not sure if he killed him.
I think it was like a mercy thing. He had to. I feel
that's
why I think he was calling him back because he needed his two. Maybe he called Ja Rule and Loki back because he felt like he needed them to put him down because he knew he was good. That's why I was thinking like he got Dami Reversi, but he fought it off for a long time. But once he probably started feeling like, I can't keep fighting this off, he called Loki and Ja Rule.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Day one Loki is Toby Ruppel. I think so, bro. Vegapunk commissioned to remake Dragon Race. Like, use cattle fruit and that's a lot of reading. I was reading it very bad. It's not really a lot. I don't know what I'm saying, but I like that. Maybe Emu was trying to recreate the actual ancient giants with Loki.
So, what do we think about the eyes?
I think it's some ancient weapon stuff, bro.
Ancient weapon?
You think Loki is an ancient weapon?
Yes.
Like Poseidon?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, his mom's. I know she's a piece of shit though, but boy got some competition. Well, she has some, I'm just putting that out there.
Who is this woman, bro? Like, she was a royal member because it was a arranged marriage, right?
Yeah.
So that theory could make sense. Like, if she's a royal family of Elbaf, then because like with Shirahoshi was.
But she was she's a child of a noble,
Yeah.
Wait, no, noble blood of the ancient giants. But she was also, I'm pretty sure she was like highborn though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, Loki did kill the horse, though. Well, he was blamed for it because remember when we first met Hogan, it was like, nah, damn. When we first met him, they was talking about how he killed the royal steed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Killed the
Hmm.
steed. His mama passed shortly after his arrival. Burnt down the village. Stuff of that sort.
Killed his dad. That boy was on demon timing, boy. Jesus. Sad though. I ain't gonna lie, this might be Oda best side character once we get all this shit wrapped up, bro.
Who? Loki?
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's going to be a side character, bro.
No, he's not Jordan Strauss, bro.
He might look. I asked it
Bruh.
last week, and
Bruh.
I was at like a 1% chance. It's this chapter. I think there's a higher chance now for sure, bro.
My initial reason was about why he couldn't was because he's probably stronger than Zoro. This motherfucker might be stronger than Luffy. How the heck gonna join the crew, bro?
He might be stronger than Luffy, but by the end of Elbaf, we don't know where that will rank. But look, man, like
Luffy will be stronger in the web Elbaf.
if
but
Loki doesn't die, I'm not sure. Like, what are we doing with Loki if he doesn't die in this arc?
I think this Mosa stuff, like, what if after the chapter arc ends, he's like, all right, I gotta, unless Mosa is on Elbaf, maybe when the arc ends, Loki can be heading out to sea to go save Mosa. Like, he can be the white beard. We've been looking for a white beard. It wasn't Kid. It could be Loki. It'd be the world's strongest man.
I'm not sure how. I mean, with Loki possibly being influenced by rocks, maybe he could be coerced to, finding a way to, be taken by Blackbeard or something of that sort. But I was under the impression that Loki wasn't going to last at the end of the chapter. But once we had that mural and Loki's, basically a part of everything that's fighting Emu, he's got to find a way to make it to the end, but I just don't really see him leaving with the Straw Hats. I really don't.
I don't think he's gonna ever go evil. I think because he's been forced to be portrayed as evil for so much of his life, he's finally gonna get to be good by the end of the arc. But whether that's through sacrifice or that's just through people finally realize what happened. But usually, I feel like Loki is if Odin was alive right now. And it don't really turn out too good for them people like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I was about to bring that up too. Willow Dreams talking about Esther being from the alcohol village. Then you got the Vodka Kingdom for Kaido, the Tequila Wolf villages and all that. Whatever. That could all be linked. But what you about to say, Preach?
I was just gonna say I agree with you. I'm not convinced Loki's surviving Elbaf.
I'm gonna be sad, bro. After seeing this baby, man, my boy reached his hands out and nobody grabbed him, bro. Come on, dog.
Like I'm just thinking, there's always a impactful death in these big arcs. I feel like Loki is a perfect one.
And he been crying that, bringing that into the world, all type stuff. Like I feel like his character is here, supposed to be taken out, but
yeah, he's gonna go out like Odin on some it's gonna be a big
sacrifice.
A big fight. Yeah, it's gonna be a sacrifice. He might fight like all the holy knights and I mean we don't know what he'll do, but it's gonna be a big dramatic ending. It could also because bringing Loki back in the final wars where it's like Marisha and everything involved, I feel like that just doesn't it just won't be the same thing. Like I feel like it has to be something in Elbaf.
The only thing I can see Oda going for is Hadruden. I mean, let me stop talking about that bomb. The way that Whitebeard had little oars ready to ride for him, maybe Loki could be that for Luffy.
That'd be cool.
Hadruden worked as a mercenary for Buggy. You think Origin Pirates worked for Rocks? Oh, that would be fire.
What do you think about if somehow? I mean, I don't think this will work because it's just not the same. But what it like Dorian Broggy, could we see like a low key Hajruden thing, or is that just they're not even close in the same realm of strength?
Man, hell no. That's like Zoro and Choppers.
Well, I
You
said
like,
like
come
you
on,
can't
bro.
see a world where Loki joins his giant crew and like I don't know.
Loki not joining nothing that he can't be the leader of. I think Hajruden has to lead Elbaf though. Like, I think that's his destiny. He's not. He got to accept. Like, maybe I am a bum. I'm a diplomat. You feel me?
I'm
I'm not
about
no
to say he's
warrior.
the diplomat and Loki's the warrior, but every
Exactly.
time we get introduced to giants, we get introduced to them in groups. Hadrugan was the one that was by himself, so we just needed his pair, and Loki's his pair. Man, stop playing.
Man, unless it's gonna be like Hashirama and Madara, where he's a Shadow King or something, Shadow Hokage type shit. I'm not buying it, bro. But Hashirama was actually strong. This dude is a
So
bum,
that's the
bro. I
thing,
don't.
yeah. Like Hajruden is nowhere near Loki.
It's not gonna work, man. Loki has to leave. He can't be the prince. I feel like his reputation is too cooked to become the. Even if he's proven wrong, right, or whatever, I don't think he would want to rule Elbaf. Like, he seems to want freedom, right?
It's one of those things where Loki, in as far as what Elbev we've seen so far with their culture, I think Loki could be valued in a similar way. Maybe not as royalty, but he can be known as Elbaf's greatest warrior.
That's
And
it.
the Giants would respect that just as much as a king.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. I think Loki is going to be the vehicle to drive Elbaf back to embracing the warrior culture. Just don't make it your entire identity. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to shoehorn ourselves to just forcing ourselves to be warriors. We can also be scholars. We can also be doctors and scientists or whatever. But, if people want to be warriors, let's not discourage it. Like my boy Colin. He's going to be the greatest warrior in One Piece history. Son of the right hand of the Pirate King? Come on, man.
Do you think Loki is Yonko level?
Yeah.
For sure. Like, or just he is like.
Yes.
And the crazy thing, we haven't seen
I mean,
him
look, we
fight
could
yet,
be
bro. We just
overhyped.
seen him with his hammer, but we didn't really see him fight.
I'm not finna say, bro, is like I said, maybe we're jumping the gun a little bit, but I have to take what Oda is illustrating to us, right?
Yeah.
We meet Big Mom, who as a child beats Yaru, my bad. And that's supposed to be impressive, which it is. It's actually very impressive. But this feat is better. Like, and he's not as old as Big Mom was. Now he's younger, obviously. He's not as. Hey, man. We gotta be talking about Shanks. So that snuck in right hand. Nah, bro, I sneak that in. What you mean? But we gotta be talking about how strong Shanks is to beat this dude, though.
This top 30 looking different this time of year, boy.
But I'm telling you, when we do our next one, motherfucker gonna be so mad if I'm saying Loki's stronger than him. Then Luffy.
Loki's stronger than Blackbeard.
Nah. Yeah. Luffy's stronger than Blackbeard. Shit.
I don't know.
As it stands.
I don't know if it's hard to rank Loki because we still haven't seen everything.
Yeah, we gotta see him fight. Just going off portrayal. All this is just vibes right now. But when he fights, did Shanks and Scopper fight Loki? I think it was just Shanks, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Shanks is a fucking monster, bro.
And then because that last panel, when we see the silhouette of Loki, that reminded me of Kaido because he has the club, and he's like this loner ancient giant type. So that kind of reminded me of Kaido, bro. And I don't think he's going to be compared to Kaido too much, but considering that Kaido was a rocks pirate, I'm sure there's going to be something there.
Probably. This is nuts, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I like Gaban way more than Rayleigh, even though I don't prefer Sanji to Zoro. Gaban is fun. I like Gaban a lot. I just get a DM. Oh, it's from Discord. Okay.
They both are fun, but Gaban show more personality, Rayleigh was really the teacher and really showing us another part of the show. And maybe Gaban will do the same thing too. But right now, Gaban just was vibing and aura farming, and that's gonna get you a lot.
You know what's
I
weird
think
too?
that.
Go ahead.
Nah, it's just I was just trying to. It's more of Gaban and Rayleigh stuff. I mean, like, I don't know. Gaban is more interesting to me as it stands. You know what I'm saying? Let me watch.
It's more
The
interesting.
Rockets have emerged. Wow.
Rayleigh is just the perfect badass character. I think Gaban is more fun, and they're just different, bro. Like different
It's literally Zoro and Sanji, bro. Zoro is the prototypical badass edge lord of One Piece. Sanji is the fun. Oda have his fun with Sanji, but he's still gonna get his cold moments.
Nah, but I think Zoro is more fun than Rayleigh. Like we really haven't seen enough of Rayleigh.
Yeah, we ain't seen enough of him. I'm pretty sure Rayleigh ain't just right now. He's in his wise old sage mode. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, he wasn't wise or old or sage. So if he was definitely different back then. But Zoro, I don't know. Post time skip, Zoro really ain't been all that fun, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he's been a stick in the mud for anything. Like damn, we can't have no fun around this nigga, bro. I would be annoyed when Zoro came around. If I was like, imagine you Usopp, you joke around, this nigga come with attitude and shit. Like,
the most fun we've seen from Zoro was when Luffy and Zoro linked up at Wano for the first time.
Like he wasn't even trying to have fun. He was just happy to see Luffy for real, for real.
Like that's the most we've seen from Zoro. But
biggest smile all post time skip. Now he got the R. Kelly goggles on. My boy finna have some fun. This goddamn art. Trust.
That's unnecessary.
Are they not R. Kelly goggles?
No, they not.
Not goggles, but mask, I guess. Yeah. This is definitely the Kales, man. I wish I could put on screen.
R. Kelly was doing the Zoro. I mean, the Zoro as in One Piece, but the Zoro as in Zoro joint.
Yeah, Zoro. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Zoro don't look nothing like Zoro or R. Kelly. You tripping?
So we've established a link. No. We've established a link, right? Let's put R. Kelly on the left, and we're gonna put Zoro, the other Zoro, right, in the middle, who R. Kelly was dressing like, and then you're gonna put Roronoa Zoro on the right, who Zoro is possibly named after. So it is fair to assume that Oda based Zoro off of R. Kelly.
His name is Zolo.
Zoro, bro.
Why is Harold such a simp though? Anybody ask that?
We was talking about that.
R. Kelly missing out. No, R. Kelly's not missing out. Now we were just talking about that though. Yeah, I was like, I felt like the change in Harold's demeanor was very abrupt. Like usually it'd take like a traumatic event for somebody to switch from being the asshole that Harold was to a good guy. But it just took one talking to from Ida to just be like, you know what? Maybe I was wilding out here.
He was definitely a virgin before that.
Wow. I don't know. He was a prince.
Nah, bro. No one switches up.
If he wanted to, he could have. Like, if he wanted to, he could have. What's good?
But he didn't even like think. You know that's not what he considered being exciting. You know he was a Viking type character, so his thing is pillaging and going through and destruction and stuff. So I guess he didn't even realize. I mean, he was 45 years old, so he was just 15. He was just his eyes was opening.
I know what you gotta say, brother.
I was trying to skip around that. Where go with pillaging typically, but nah, I won't add that.
I was stuck. That's unnecessary. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That was gonna be wild, bro. All right, but yeah, he was 15 though, so I get it. If he wasn't worried about that.
One thing that was creeping me out was Loki's mom looks just like him, bro. Especially
Loki.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She looked just like, especially.
I mean, bro, I keep getting Ida and Estra mixed up. Like I be
Those
forgetting they're
panels when
not the same
she
person.
reacting to
But
Loki and she's seeing like she's screaming and everything, that looks just
she
like
she
Loki.
got conquerors hockey on that panel, boy. I was like, this motherfucker look crazy, bro.
She might, bro. That's probably where Loki got it from.
I mean, I would hope Harold, but nah, this is
No,
an
bro,
ugly
it's
ass
definitely
little
not from
baby.
Harold. It's definitely not from
You
Harold.
don't think Harold got
got
conquerors
conquered
hockey?
in more than one circumstance
know,
in this
bro.
chapter.
Yeah, he didn't conquer too.
No
But that
way
boy
he
got,
has
bro. Ain't no
conquerors
way
hockey,
in
bro.
hell Harold don't got conquerors hockey,
I don't
bro.
think so, bro.
Harold, like
got
King
conquered.
Harold.
Nah.
No, the King of Elbath.
I don't see it, bro.
No shot. Please do a poll.
All right, let's do a poll.
Harold might have slept with humans, but hey, man, come on, bro. How? The other way around, right? Gaban and Rayleigh, and Ripley, we can make sense of it. Not really, but to an extent. But how?
I
Come
still
on.
can't make sense of that, bro.
To
Bro,
an
her
extent.
eyeball is the size of the room when she's peeping in the room.
I'm just saying you can see it. Like you can make a plan. Like if I was put myself in Gaban's shoes, how would I tackle this? Right? You can't do that the other way around, bro.
I mean, we questioned it with Whitebeard.
And Odin.
A giant's even bigger though. That's
You know what I'm saying? He talking about humans.
Yeah.
No shot, bro. But it could have been Big Mom and the Tantata. But once again, listen, all right, y'all. If the woman is the larger party here, you can try to make sense of it. It does not work the other way around at all. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I'm violent. Am I don't know, bro. I just don't see it.
Just maybe if you just spray it, get where it needs to get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
no, but
guess.
I see what you're saying.
Just go drown.
It's more of a matter of like, what's even going on in there, bro? Like, there's not really much happening.
It has to, you know what I'm saying? Unless it was just like on some sperm donor type shit, right? Like, you know, well, we're not gonna do the act, but I want you to have my child.
That's how I imagine it with Gaban still.
Yeah. Nah, Gaban's in that motherfucker walking around, stretching out. That boy's getting right. I was saying you can conceive a scenario where Gaban was able to do something. You know what I'm saying? He was wilding. This man here, bro.
Bro, if you look at the panel when Harold is walking around, he talking to the humans, they're like Tantata size compared to him.
Yeah. Now imagine him trying to mount that. Come on now. It's not happening, bro.
Hey man, it's One Piece.
Manga.
Like,
if you can will it, it can happen. Yeah, for sure. No, nothing makes sense. That's facts. Yeah, that's facts. Will Dream. If Oda wants to say it happened, it's just gonna be like, "Hey man, get the fuck out of here."
He survived.
Nah, Odin because like I said, Odin and Shawty from the past, what's his name is Toki is already pushing it, bro. But you know, I can, I guess, imagine, you know, if Odin wasn't well endowed, you feel me, and he just, you know, but hey, at some point we gotta have a limit, right? I'm looking for the chapter where you see. Okay, never mind. That's obviously not happening. Is this the older Loki record? Okay, I found the Loki. What is it called? Introduction chapter. And I'm trying to see if that thing that the horse is wearing is the same symbol. It's not. Okay, I wasted my time. All right, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up with the horse, bro? He got 8 legs.
Ashura. Zoro horse.
What does that mean?
He's a horse. I mean, hey. I would say, okay.
I'm like, does that horse got like the little black cloud going around it? That's the part
that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what is these flames on his back? Like, are they flames or is that just his hair?
I
Is
think
it a
that's
mohawk?
I think that's how they combed his hair, but
The horse of good fortune. It's Sleipnir from Horseman Dollar. Let me look at Sleipnir. Am I saying that right? Mythical eight-legged horse, renowned as the steed of Odin. Oh, well. And okay, Loki is Sleipnir's father in mythology.
wait, so did
That boy Loki be out here doing
Loki's
anything,
mom
bro.
died, right? It was implied, I
Yeah, she
guess.
died, but like I said, Hadruden's mom is still around,
Yeah.
as far as we
Hopefully,
know.
hopefully.
Yeah, It's funny. You know, time does fly. She will be old now too, bro. So, I mean, I hope she's still alive, bro.
These the type of stories make me think Oda had like a bad relationship with women as like a young person. Like
But I mean, if you really think about it, she's like the first like bad mother in One Piece,
Oh,
aside from Big
yeah. I
Mom.
was gonna say, what about Big Mom, bro?
Yeah, but like that don't count. Like outside, like regular women, she's like the first, right?
are we're not counting
Yeah,
Mother
but
Caramel? I mean, do they gotta be biological parents?
I say biological.
she might be the
The
first,
eight-legged
but at the same time, it's like we don't have many mother figures anyway, so it's
That
Or
is
say
true.
there's not a lot of true evil women in the story, but
Yeah, it's not many evil women. Period. Not even just
not many
mother figures,
women,
but
period.
evil women. It's a lot of women, bro. I mean, Maki, I'm not gonna name all the women, but you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of women. They're just not bad people usually. The eight-legged horse is upscale for Doc Cute. All right, bro. Slipner's dad is a horse, and Loki turned to a female horse. Oh, okay. Well, let's hope that One Piece Loki didn't do that. Okay, all right. That's very interesting. All right.
One thing I was wondering too is because it kind of reminds me of Amazon Lily because we never really we don't know anything about like who Boa's parents could be because there's no men on that island, but we know if they leave and then come back
Mm,
because it was implied like the old lady was kind of implying she found love when she left.
yeah, I mean they gotta come from somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Bo's parents, so
Boa's
that's a good
parents would have to be
question.
strong though. Like they would have to be at least one of the parent would have to be strong.
Man, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Bo might be the most overrated
What the bro? What?
character in One Piece, bro.
the only
I
thing that's
just
holding Boa up is the fact that she has conqueror's hockey. Like
exactly like I ain't gonna lie, bro. Motherfucker used to clown a kid for not having no on-screen hockey feats. If we weren't told Boa had Conqueror's hockey, we would have no idea, bro, because she's never used it. And, you know, we might be getting to that territory where motherfucker will lie. Nah, let me stop. They won't lie. But I ain't gonna lie. Motherfucker be putting Boa in some crazy spots. That's all I'm saying. I think she's very strong, but they be trying to put her stronger than Zoro type shit. Like, calm down, bro.
it's the fact that she a conqueror and the fact that she a warlord. Like people want to put her around Doflamingo type energy, and it's like nah, nah. If it wasn't for the fact that she had that fruit and she was labeled as a conqueror, the story hasn't shown us much. So I'm not big on her altogether.
So you think if Boa
Like,
wasn't pretty, that fruit would be useless?
yeah, I think she kind of said it to Blackbeard, right? But then at the same time,
I wouldn't be surprised if that fruit is similar to like why can't I remember the very first person? Alvita. If it like maybe you eating that fruit is what makes you like makes people visually look at you a certain way where we just don't have no choice but to accept the fact that you're pretty, because can fruits like manipulate how people feel about you at certain times?
Yeah, and
Possibly.
I see what you're saying because it also can manipulate your entire DNA.
I think that I don't know if it was real or not, but I think it was like an SBS question where Oda was asked about that, and he was like, if you eat it, like let's say if Blackbeard was to eat it, if he can elicit some type of strong emotion from you, like disgust, it don't gotta be like infatuation, it can be disgust or like annoyance or something. It'll like change to be that for him.
Oh, so
I don't know if that was
saying,
an SBS question
so
or
you're
not.
saying because wait, so Boa's emotion is like an attraction,
And like, yeah, attraction,
but with Blackbeard it could be like the opposite.
disgust, or like, let me see. I know I
Anger,
read that.
something that elicits a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
Blackbeard will be the one to bring out disgust, bro. That guy.
Was that an SBS chat? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
I remember. I remember that one.
I'm familiar with it. I don't know exactly which one.
It was during
Speaking of SBS, we should have one coming in the next day or so.
Yes.
Can't wait
and
for
Boa,
that.
she hasn't really done much, bro. Like we haven't seen her really fight.
I think she's gonna be strong, but I don't think she's gonna be. If I had to give her a range of strength, I mean, I would say Crocodile level, and that's not even because of the theories that Crocodile was an Amazon princess, but I just think that's around how strong she is, probably.
It's tough to say, but I mean, she didn't even stand a chance against Blackbeard, so I'm not really mad at it.
And then people like Reese retelling that fucking scene, trying to make it seem like she could have beat him. Like, no she
way,
literally,
bro. No way she could have.
Like, they're like he was put in a hard place because his crew was turned to stone.
Yeah,
but like,
no chance she had.
That wasn't a problem for him. You know what I'm saying? It was an interview, not an SBS. I'm trying to find it though.
I see what you're saying, because if you look at like someone like Law at least has a chance. He at least puts up somewhat of a fight against Blackbeard, and then Boa is like, I don't even think she has a chance, bro.
Law been packing Boa the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But like if we rank characters, Boa's usually not too far off from Law. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Law, man, Law, did he really stand a chance though? If Blackbeard using half his strength, it stood a chance again, then that's.
I think
like
so, because I think Law was fighting like half of Blackbeard's crew with just him and Beppo, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think if it was just Law versus Blackbeard, he would have done better. But I don't know.
JJ, you saw the stuff about Blackbeard would have lost. Lost to who? Boa? The fact that he grabbed it in the first place, I mean, you can say she was distracted by Kobe or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not going. But did you see the corrections they did for Shamrock and Gonko in the new volume?
Oh no, tell me about it.
He's getting this. He got the Saint title added, so that theory about his mom not being a Celestial kind of dies, and Gonko was confirmed to be a part of the Manmeyer family.
Oh, okay.
So she's a Celestial, but that at that point is confusing because, like, so was Brooke actually a holy knight, or was what I'm saying? Because if she's a member of a family, is she owned by this family, or like is she actual blood in the family?
Or maybe like Brooke was able to have a relationship with her without them actually being related. I mean, we know that there are celestial dragons that aren't all jerks. Maybe some of them was able to have a relationship with some people on the regular grounds, and Brooke was able to take a kin to that. I mean, but that makes that father situation be really confusing.
Yeah, then it's like
that's what triggered her, right? Hearing somebody call out, or hearing Colin call out for Gaban, hearing him call out for father is what made her think about Brooke.
Yeah,
So
and I also look at it. What's confusing would be like, is that a thing where Brook, like, because if Brook was if he wasn't, he was the leader of a battle envoy for a certain kingdom. I don't think they would have been spending much time at Marriage Wise. So like they met once and maybe kept in touch over then mushy or something. But then it's like, why Brooke on the phone with little girls? You feel me? Like, I don't know. I can see a scenario where all right, bro. All right, man. That's why they may not like us, bro. But I can see a scenario where maybe Brooke was wait, no, maybe Gunko was actually like when she was kidnapped, it was like a Jenny type situation where she was like killed and rebuilt into which like she's kind of like a cyborg type thing. You know what I'm saying? So like they technically own her. You know what I'm
reprogrammed
saying?
her.
Yeah. I can see that being the case.
Would have got a lot of explaining to do.
Too much.
I mean, we were just getting comfortable with the idea, you know what I'm saying, Brooke, being able to take it up to another level. But shoot, if Brooke ended up actually being a part of the Holy, I mean, he was the first person to be like, yo, this is higher up. These are them Holy Knights people. And we really don't got no reasoning for Brooke to be on that level. Just because you part of a convoy. I mean, like, I imagine even if you've been to Marijoa a time or two, you still may not know about the Holy Knights. So
Maybe the Holy Knights visited, and when they took Gunko, that's when he found out about him.
I think, bro, Holy Knight. I don't think Brooke could be a Holy Knight just off of his strength.
That's true.
But I'll say this: like, I think there's a chance where like Brooke has interacted with Mauricio at some point, or maybe he's seen something with the Holy Knights. I was even thinking during the time skip. We don't really know everything what went on with Brooke, but they were doing those rituals and everything. I think there could be a connection where the people in that island are doing the same kind of like summoning magic as they have some kind of ancient rituals that the Holy Knights have.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be a connection
so
there.
y'all, has the Holy Knights really shown themselves to be strong, or have they shown themselves to be like conniving tax fruits that are just like good for the circumstance? Summers. The one interaction the one interaction we got with Summers, he literally got cut in half. Loki was pinned to the Loki was pinned to the tree, getting slapped up by Gunko, and like now he's ready to go fight. Like, I mean, killing him. We haven't really seen those strengths.
This is the same guy that was 1 year, 1 day old, getting thrown off an island. So you know what I'm saying? But I think that Killingham has, at the very least, Killingham has been illustrated to me to seem very strong because his devil fruit is absolutely broken. It's a mythical zone. It seems to be awakened. He can create his own army, and I know the giants are bombs, but he did one shot a giant, without using his devil fruit. So, I think Brad's pretty strong. Gonko, Shamrock, we know he's gonna be strong. And I mean, Summers was running around like a menace for the longest before Gaban showed up.
He fought Saul,
and he made short work of him. Why we acting like Saul wasn't a vice admiral, bro? I think Summers is strong though, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's think of it this way, right?
I think this is the C squad of the Holy Knights, man. I think this is the C squad.
If we're assuming Conquer's Hockey is probably what you need to defeat a Holy Knight, then I think they got to be pretty strong, bro. Like, that's really only putting Luffy, Zoro, and maybe Sanji in the category to beat them, and Loki.
Whoa, maybe.
But the reason we thinking that you need Conqueror's Hockey is because of their affiliation with Emu, not particularly because of who they are. When we think about the Holy Knights, like Usopp was able to get a shot off on Gunko, it's just that she's able to regenerate. Like, we're not seeing them be strong. We're seeing them seeing us having no solution to how to hurt them. I just don't think those are the same things specifically. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is,
Well, I don't know,
so
because the way I see like Garling is he moved up to become a Gorosei, and so it seems like the Holy Knights are the next in line to become Gorosei. So I would think they got to be at least good fighters because you have aren't the Gorosei called like warrior gods or
warrior
something?
gods, yes sir.
Yeah, so I feel like, and maybe it's the case where like Garling, there's only one of those Garlings every 50 to 100 years, and then so I can understand that if we think the Gorosei are actually immortal, but I mean I don't know, bro. I feel like they had to be somewhat reliable. Because otherwise, you
I
really
think
just have the
that
Gorosei, and then if the Holy Knights are really that trash, bro, that's like what the. I don't
If
know.
I got power to negate all you move and you ain't got no time to figure out how to beat me, it's.
But I think that right now, what it is that we're seeing a situation where the Holy Knights look like it's not like, for example, you say Gunko was like caught by Usopp, but that's just because Gunko knows like I don't have to block your shit, I don't have to avoid it. But that is not to say that I couldn't. It's just I don't have to. So why would I even waste the time? I'm an aura form, basically. That's basically what she's doing.
I see what you're saying. Like they take the weaker characters, they don't take them serious. It's the same way that somehow Chopper survives Saturn,
which is crazy as fuck to me. But it was like how Kizaru got shot by them pirates on Sabaody. Like imagine we'd be like, well, Kizaru got caught by them pirates. Like, nah, he knew. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna hurt me, so I'm not gonna dodge it. But at the same time, another thing I've seen like power scaling wise, a lot of Admiral fans are very insecure about how strong the Holy Knights are. I wonder why, whatever. But and they try to like remove the thing from them due to like the regeneration. But at the end of the day, whether it's through Emu or not, it's still their power. So you can't like remove it from them when you're trying to scale them.
That's some BS too, bro. Because for how many years the admirals basically had regeneration. Their own style.
It's like that, but turned up. Basically,
bro, so
like
you have Greenbull who just like you're fighting 10 people at once and he's constantly regenerating. And now when the Holy Knights get that similar ability, they're upset. But the Loki was the most broken thing for so long, bro.
And that's the thing with One Piece. Shit is broken until it's not, bro. So just wait. It won't be overpowered. Just because Gaban said conquerors, Gaban didn't say that's the only way to beat these dudes. He just told Luffy, like, watch how you doing your conquerors. You know what I'm saying? But that's a good question, Will of Dreams. Do we think Shanks' ancestor might be Joy Boy? I think that his ancestor is the Binks that's referred to in Binks Hockey, Binks Sake. And no, I'm not saying that because the names are similar, which is yes, it is a fact. But I just feel like Shanks seems to have a lot of ties to alcohol. For example, let me not put out my whole script right now.
And you know what? I'll say that's a good point because it's a good point for the Yonko fans. Because I'll say this: you will never see a Yonko, someone who sides on the Yonko side, be insecure about a Gorosei.
Nah.
Like even as strong as they are with all those broken abilities, bro, I've never seen someone who says Yonkos are way stronger than Admirals and Gorosei. I've never seen them worried about it.
Because we know, and it's all like it's the reason why I think a lot of reasons why Admiral fans are kind of like worried because the Gorosei got confirmed to have conquered Haki the chapter they were, they came. Versus these admirals who've been running around since chapter 200, and we still don't. No single admiral. Only one we know Sengoku. We can infer that has is I saw Sengoku, but like the current crew is Akainu,
which is kind of sad, bro. Like it is kind of like where are the Conqueror Marines at?
And that's
because in reality, the Marines are doing way more in their everyday like journeys and. The Holy Knights, we haven't seen the whole story. We don't even know what they've been doing this whole time, bro. So I kind of.
And then I'll keys you. Like, do y'all think he was using Conqueror's Haki in that fight with Garp? I don't think so.
Nah.
I'm not sure, but I feel like he might still have it because it's like to be on that level. I feel like you kind of do need it.
My thing with that is that with these older characters, like there's nothing stopping Oda right now. Like it wouldn't change anything if he just went ahead and like we understand why pre-time skip we didn't get the admirals being confirmed. But he's had so many chances to confirm that the admirals have conquerors. And then, like I said, we meet
And
the
that
Gorosei
Gar fight would have
chapter
been the
1.
perfect time to do it for
Exactly, with Garp, who's a conqueror. Like if you're gonna do it, then let's do it now. But he did it, so it's like, and I know people are like, "Well, he didn't do it with Sanji yet." That's different. Sanji is young. The admirals are basically in their prime.
The same people would tell me that Kobe has conquered Haki. I haven't seen that yet.
But he's young. But that goes in the hand. Him and Sanji and Sabo too are like younger. So even if they don't have it, or if they haven't unlocked it yet, it makes sense. But for somebody like Aokiji, if that nigga got conquered Haki, we would have seen it by now, I feel.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right.
But yeah, about the Big Sake stuff, y'all. Then go back and you look at it. Shanks talking about how his hometown got the best sake when he met Whitebeard. You feel me? That's just another little tidbit I'm gonna put there. I'm not gonna drop the whole script for y'all because I'm doing the video on it. But just know, and we not gonna act like Oda is not above naming one of Shanks' ancestors Binks. Like, it's not like that's just something he's too good to do. It's very possible. But nah, I think that's definitely his family.
That'd be so crazy if that daggone hat got all the way back down to his generation over
it's
a
millennium.
Like a full
circle moment, you feel me? And that's what I'm saying. We need to learn where the hell Roger got this hat from.
That Roger flashback is going to be the illest flashback, yo.
And I want to do a stream about that. Or a video, whatever. But
I mean, the introduction we had for Roger is him talking to Rayleigh about destiny, which is kind of crazy, bro. That's right when he started his journey.
Yeah, he's like, we finna turn the world upside down.
And now that we know about Gaban talking about the child of fate with Shanks and all this, it's like, whoa, what was going on with Roger before he was a pirate?
And I like the idea that maybe it was him and Rox knew each other as kids, but they went separate paths or something, right? But let me not speak on Rayleigh. Damn, what was I gonna say? Damn, bro. It was something about Roger, was it? Or was it the Straw Hat? Oh no, what I said, a video or a stream idea about like all the future flashbacks we will like basically confirm to get. You know what I'm saying? Like we know we got to get Roger's flashback. We have to get a full on Shanks flashback. We got to get
a second Zoro flashback because the wings get two flashbacks apiece.
No. We cool. We're done with any flashbacks for Zoro and the wings in general. We cool. The only flashback we're gonna get is when we look back and see what Gaban told Sanji.
We'll get another Brook flashback before Zoro.
Absolutely.
Now Zoro gonna get one though, but it's not gonna be involving Zoro.
You think
it's gonna be
Zoro gonna get a flashback to Wano and him learning something from the grave that we never got to see him visit. That's the flashback.
If he really did visit that grave though, if he really did visit that grave over the show, boy, all right. I'm telling you now. But
he definitely visited that grave. We just ain't get to see it, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, remember that's my most viewed video on my on my Pirate Hunter Krow, the theory about why he couldn't visit it. But
so Krow, you mentioned Loki as an ancient weapon. So what do you think he's Uranus or a different type of like a whole different type of thing? Like an Elbeth prophecy?
Maybe he's Elbeth, like the god of war, like the way that the god of the seas kind of resurfaces every few decades. Maybe the famed god of war has also awakened.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. I don't know if they're going to be Uranus because that seems to be sky related, but
that could be something with the what is it called, the weapon?
Mother Flame.
No, his.
Are you talking about Matt Ragnar?
Yeah.
Only Straw Hat backstory. Yeah, we still gotta get a Nami backstory. That's how I was like Zoro's backstory not gonna have nothing to do with Zoro. Well, Zoro's not gonna be in it. He's gonna be the same with Nami, where we're just gonna get stuff from like before she was born.
Wait, so with Ragnar, because we seen he had a hammer in the last chapter too. That was something different, right?
Hold up.
Because that was
Did I bring it up last time we
I
streamed?
think it was a different. Well, we see him with the club right now, and then he had a big hammer, and then he had the Ragnar when he.
I'm pretty sure I brought that up last time we streamed. Where if you look at the devil fruit in the background, it looks like Ragnar's there.
Wait.
I didn't say y'all mentioned that, but I didn't notice that.
I think you did bring it up.
The one where the person came in talking about the mystery fruit of Elbath and treasure chest.
It does look like them right behind it. It looks like a black block. So with that being said, though, my bad. I'm sticking by my theory that Loki got the gum fruit, and that Ragnar, like it's a combo where you have to have the gum fruit to be able to use Ragnar because it's electricity based, and nobody else can handle it. But of course, Luffy will be able to. So maybe like the way that on the regular world has the Nika.
How would it respawn next to a devil fruit?
It's in the chest. Maybe they keep it locked up on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like the world as on the surface, well, I mean, about it's the surface, but the regular world has had the idea that Luffy's fruit was a gum fruit, but in reality it was a Nika fruit. Whereas Elbath probably thinks that they have the Nika fruit, but it's actually the gum fruit. I think it's like reverse. Nobody gonna talk about the Yamato cover story? We done talking about that?
I've been done talking about that like 6 months ago.
Only thing I want to mention that I feel like ain't been spoken on is Harold is using all this energy to, try to learn about how to get other countries freed. Yet you're not worried about your culture and the fact that you can't marry the woman that you want to marry because she ain't come from where she want to come from. Like, it just seemed like his goals just wasn't focused on where he should be. If you want to change things, we got to change things within our country first, and then be the example that we want to show everybody else. And I just feel like he was working backwards. It's good to learn, from other cultures and everything, but don't tell me how to fix my house if I see that your roof is messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Like maybe, that could have been like a thing where it was Harold put his foot down, like, I have my wife. You know what I'm saying? But it felt like he just was like, I guess. That is crazy. You would think someone like him would be like, y'all finna tell me who the fuck I'm gonna marry.
That's the part that makes me feel like his conqueror's aura has been lost. Like, imagine somebody telling Luffy, like, no, these are the ways that our land has been established, and you can't change that. Luffy be like, either I'm leaving or we doing something different. Like, imagine any, when you was having that conversation in Discord about the king thing, I didn't add it in because, it went completely left. But my thing is, when I look at Conqueror's Haki, I really look at Conqueror's Haki almost as a synonym for stubbornness. The fact that Ace and Roger, when they had a fight that they knew they couldn't win, they were still going to be there to fight. Every single conqueror, freaking Don Chinjao, having beef so bad, he going to beef with the family of the family. Like, everything about Conqueror's Haki to me is just the willingness to stand firm about what you believe and not let nobody turn your way. Doflamingo was like, listen, I'm a god. I'm above all of y'all, and I don't care what nobody got to say. So he found him some people that agree with him, and then they ended up, trumpeting exactly what his thought process was. So that's another thing that makes me look at Harold like, how can this man be a conqueror when, like, the first woman that, like, challenges his way of thinking literally changes his way of thinking? And now that you found the woman that, literally makes you better, you can't be with her because somebody else said no. Like, all these other people telling you how to live is not a conqueror's energy in me,
Yeah,
so.
I 100% agree.
I feel that.
Because his energy is so off in this chapter where, like, how the hell are you this massive of a simp And then, you know, like throughout the chapter, you just accept how JJ said, you just accept this random arranged marriage.
Everybody that showed him a whole new way of life, he basically gave in to their way, to their views. You know, thank goodness Rox didn't meet him when he was younger. This world would be a whole lot different.
Yeah, it seems like there's not like there's not the same willpower of a conqueror. There's not, how you said, that stubborn, where you're not gonna back down and you're gonna do what you want. But I think also, like, the only way I could see it is if with Harold, because I can see in this chapter he's trying to be very like diplomatic and political. So maybe he's thinking like this arranged marriage is kind of just what has to be done to maintain some kind of freedom and order. And I don't know, but yeah, his character is all over the place, bro. Like, it seems, how you said, anyone can pull him in any direction. He's not really having his own sense of freedom.
But maybe I just play devil's advocate.
Before. But
what if like him accepting that, because it seems like the wife was okay with it. Well, how Jordan's mom was okay with it. Yeah. Like maybe he was like, you know, just because our Jordan mom is not gonna make a big deal out of it, and I can, you know, maybe if I lose my position as king, I won't be able to continue my overseas diplomatic work that I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense if he explained it to her, and then she's like, "Yes, I mean, you're the king. This is
kind like maybe he was gonna like lash out, but she was like, "Nah,
yeah, and
I don't want you to do that."
That makes sense too, because we saw at the end of the chapter, we seen has Jordan and his mom were like, she wanted him to meet Loki. She wasn't really jealous or anything.
Yeah, she's a good side piece, bro. That's the kind you want, bro.
Listen,
really. She cool, bro.
Sanji got to get one of those.
Like I understand.
Sanji,
not pure blood. I'll just be over here, and you live with your main thing. Like, boy,
the door always open though. That's what she said, bro.
Hey man, Gaban might have a million of those the way Shanks was talking last chapter.
Hey, that boy. Was Harold not? Oh, what's good, Jose Larios? Appreciate you for coming through this way. That was wild though. All right, so JJ, as far as that stubbornness thing goes, do you think that fits some of our unconfirmed conquerors like Sabo? I think it fits Sabo. Sanji easily. I mean, he refuses.
Sanji willing to die over not fighting women is like the corniest example of being able to be a conqueror, but it fits the realm.
I feel like it's the most unreasonable, stubborn thing in the story.
But it's the most One Piece thing. It's like that's Sanji. We'll never see Oda won't even put him in that situation where he has to do it. And I think with Sanji, we seen how stubborn he was with Luffy when they fought.
And I also think, hold on. With Sabo, like him rejecting a life of luxury and all that because he didn't agree with that, I feel like that's conqueror's energy to me. I don't care.
Sabo's one of the hardest characters in One Piece. I don't care what anyone says. He's an ace clone. Sabo's that guy, bro. Man.
I think Sabo got conqueror's haki, bro. You're not number 2 to Dragon, bro, without conqueror's haki, bro.
We should do
it. Like I said, I think
we got to rank the children of One Piece, because Sabo is up there with Loki and Big Mom.
Whoa!
What?
Strength?
Well, it doesn't have to be just strength, but I'm saying just in
general. Just as a character?
Yeah, bro.
Just as a character? Okay.
Because I've never seen it is kind of unrealistic, because Sabo was like crazy mature for his age, but I don't know, bro. There's something about Sabo as a kid, how you said, just abandoning his family and realizing his dream from day one.
And he left to go out to sea early as fuck. Like Luffy and Ace was like, we're gonna wait till he's 17. That boy Sabo was what, 8?
Yeah, no, the only reason they wait, I think the only reason Luffy and Ace waited was because of what happened with Sabo.
Well,
I think it traumatized them. True. Like they realized, like, oh yeah, we're too young for this.
It
don't matter how old you are, you get shot by a daggone you get your boat shot down, you done.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he kind of got out of there early. It was only a matter of time. That's for real. At least they caught him before he left the island. Because imagine he would have went somewhere down the road, and same people that got killed some other way. So But nah, man, I think that
Does
Sabo
Mihawk
is a
have the
conqueror.
stubbornness?
We gotta
No.
see.
No.
But Mihawk got conquerors, bro. Y'all wildin', bro.
Man, we gotta have. There's gotta be some
No,
top-notch characters without conquerors, man.
No,
That's
but
what, like,
that goes.
these are what-
You said
Listen,
it was the corniest example with
don't gotta be
Sanji.
a conqueror.
It was kind of the most lame example possible with Mihawk at Marineford, where he's like, "I'm not fighting Shanks."
bro, listen. Conquerors hockey. I'm gonna keep saying this. Is anybody can unlock conquerors hockey? It's just such a rare thing. So, because I don't like Judge. I'm on that same page. I don't like if it's just like only people that are predetermined from birth can rise to the top of the One Piece world. That takes away from the idea of freedom. But if it's a thing where but if it's a thing where it's like, you gotta like, it's like awakening the devil fruit, but as you awakening your hockey. But it's extremely rare. I would prefer it. I would like that because then it makes it seem like the idea of a man's dreams never dying actually being relevant to how Conqueror's hockey works. So that's why I think Gaban, like, the more I think about it, I feel like Gaban told Sanji, he was like, yo, you don't have it. But Conqueror's hockey isn't something that you just have to be born with. It's something that somebody who reaches like a certain state of mind or certain ideal they will never refuse to die on can use. Like, it's not something that, regular people can't fucking unlock Conqueror's hockey because they never are pushed to do so.
I guess,
you know what I'm saying?
I guess Sanji might be a good example of that because.
Yeah, I feel like he's the perfect person to drive it through. And then once we get it from Sanji, that's when we get it from Kobe.
Soft, right? Like,
and it takes and if you look at it, it makes sense for Sanji to take much longer to get Conqueror's hockey compared to Luffy and Zoro because
Luffy is like
didn't have the trauma. Like, look at the trauma Sanji went through as a kid. His trauma forced him to second guess himself and question himself as a person because of like him getting locked away and him all the shit he went through. Versus Luffy and Zoro had shit happen to them. Don't get me wrong now, but nothing really impeded them reaching their dreams versus or like real like psychological trauma. Yeah. Versus somebody like Sanji. And I think honestly, if you look at what the route he has to take is he don't need to completely disregard his German blood. He needs to embrace it and accept it.
I agree. Yeah. Well, I would say like with Luffy, it's like, but I feel like I think it is still kind of a personality thing because Luffy, even if whatever happens with Luffy, he'll still see it as motivation at the end of the day.
That's true. But I think Luffy is a kind of a good, and that's why I brought up Rayleigh. Whatever though. But Luffy is a kind of a good example too, because if you look at Luffy as like a little kid, it felt like
let's be real.
He was way more of a crybaby than like Ace. Like Ace was like a conqueror from birth, versus Luffy, who kind of had to grow into it and become it. I feel he was like a much more natural conqueror than Luffy. Doflamingo was forced, from a young age. But can you really
imagine, like even without Jinbei kind of talking Luffy through everything, can you imagine a world where Luffy allows that moment to bring him down?
It seemed like it. For
I'm
real.
Saying in the temporary moment, but I'm saying as like a long-term effect. I don't think Luffy. I think he was.
I think that was a breaking point, and I think when Oda like explains what I'm saying, I think that it'll go back to that point where it was like Conqueror's hockey can be suppressed. That's why you get people like Crocodile, who was on the seas fighting against fucking Whitebeard, and maybe like when he took that big L, it was like, well, his hockey, like he kind of suppressed his willpower and dreams, and he lost it. Or you get somebody like Moria who clashing with Kaido, and then he becomes a bum after that. Like, I feel like that's the suppression of hockey, where it's the same way suppressing your dreams. Like I said, motherfucker can grow up their whole life, I want to be an astronaut. But then when you get introduced to the realities of the world, that shit goes to the back of your head. You no longer strive for big dreams like that. It's kind of like that in One Piece. Like, I'm not reading that, bro. But I feel like it's kind of similar in One Piece where somebody can grow. I'm gonna be the king of the pirates. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that. Then they go to the Grand Line and get fucking wrecked, and it's like, well, you know what?
It's a reality
I'm
check,
cool. Yeah. But being a conqueror is being able to power through reality checks, I think.
Agreed.
I don't know, bro. Because I feel like if that's the case, then you have to give it to a lot more people.
No, you don't have to, because who actually powers through those reality checks?
Well, let's look at someone like Law. Like
Mm-hmm.
Law doesn't have Conqueror's Hockey, but I feel like Law is one of the more like he's one of the toughest minded characters. He's very focused on his goals. He's he's not afraid of anyone.
Y'all think Hydrogen has big conquerors hockey? I'm not reading that the way you want me to, bro. But I think with Law, where what would have to cause Law to unlock conquerors hockey would be him to stop relying on schemes and shit after some point. You know what I'm saying? Because this is how I look at it. If we remove the journey that we're going through right now and look at these characters and what they will be when the story ends, right? Let's take a look at Sabo, who was already the Flame Emperor, but in the story, Sabo will probably be the leader of the Revolutionary Army. If you told me the leader of the Revolutionary Army has Congress Haki, I wouldn't argue with you. If you look at Kobe, the future of the Marines, probably going to be an admiral or fleet admiral. If you told me he had Congress, I wouldn't be like, okay, that's, I don't believe it. Let's go to Sanji. If you look at Sanji and say he's going to be the left hand of the Pirate King, and said that the left hand of the Pirate King has Conqueror's Hockey, especially now that we know Gaban had it, would I really expect that to be like, nah, he can't get it? We got to look at the end goal. That's why I brought up Rayleigh in the Discord, where we know Rayleigh right now as the Dark King, right? We know he was Roger's right hand man. We know he had Conqueror's Hockey. It was all told to us from the start. But take Rayleigh out the question, the name, the idea, and you just say this dude was homeless, didn't have a ship, getting drunk when he met Roger, I wouldn't be like, he got kingly ambition. You know what I'm saying?
I think one thing.
Yeah, look at the end goal too. Sometimes
about Congress Hockey is there's definitely an ambition of it and like a very stubborn willpower. But I think Luffy is the embodiment of it, and it's a fearlessness.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Luffy hates
for your
cowards,
dreams,
bro, and it's like I think if you look at every Conquer Hockey user, except for the Gorosei, I feel like we haven't seen too much of it yet, but I feel like the other ones, they're fearless.
Will of Dream. I know you're not trying to make me read bad words. It's Flevins. That's his whole shtick. You know what I'm saying? It's not you. That's just something that he likes to do. But yeah, it's a lot of fearlessness. And I mean,
let me ask you, do you think the Gorosei Congress Hockey comes from Imu or from their own power?
I think Usopp will be, and I think that the Gorosei,
because when we did see Saturn, like, bro, that guy pissed his pants when he was about to die from Imu. Like, that energy was
even Imu pissed their pants when I think, oh yeah, but that's another thing with the corrections.
Yeah.
No, the corrections. there was also the way that the male celestial dragons are referred to. It was confirmed that Imu is a male, basically. But yeah, Imu might have some other shit going on. I mean, it's hockey, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro.
I'm just realizing, like, Imu and Saturn the only ones to show this, like, level of fear.
As a conqueror, but then again, when I tell you,
only able to though. I mean, which one was already at Marie Joie with his legs folded? He don't get to sit down. What was that? That wasn't Mars? That was
that was Mars.
That was Mars. Okay.
I don't think he was. But I mean, like, I don't think it was. I think it was more just like he was upset with the whole situation.
But that man was on his knees, clutching his chest, bro.
Oh, you talking about with Imu? Yeah, that scene. Yeah.
Nah, my boy Mars, man, I feel bad for him because when the seat finally opened up for him, this boy Garland come in here and plop down in the chair, bro. Like, damn, bro. He just got to stand up, bro. That's funny.
I can't wait till I get. Maybe I'm wait till I get anime.
Maybe the fear component isn't a thing, but
I believe that. Okay, if y'all think Garland got Congress hockey, right?
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna say
sure,
yes.
Bro, yes.
And he was like immediately promoted to Gorosei. I think it's fair to assume that they had conquerors before joining the Gorosei. If we know it with Garland,
I can never imagine Saturn with Congress hockey before joining the Gorosei.
We got Venus Joro. I know he had it. There's nothing to go off of, but he got a sword, so we're gonna say he got it.
That's it.
The worm. I mean, that's what we do. It's very rare to have actual swordsman in One Piece. So hey, if he a real swordsman in One Piece, he got Kangasaki. Fuck. Peter. If we had just to look at these dudes and to see if they have Kangaroo-Saki, like just off, we know Walker got it, JJ. I know you've been waiting for me to say it. Yeah, we know he got it, and he might have the strongest one. But I would say I would have said that. Yeah, Peter. I don't know, bro.
I would give it to him. It's fine, but I mean, we haven't really seen much of him.
I know we're gonna say Venus Juro for sure. Ethan, my bad. Yeah.
Saturn really the only one. Worm, the horse, and Top Man. I would have thought those three would have had it for sure.
What other characters do you think have Kangasaki in One Piece?
Our characters
that we haven't seen confirmed yet.
Sorry, Prince.
Wiper, bro. Wiper.
Wiper?
From Scott Pitt, that's a conqueror, bro.
Nah, bro. Come on, bro.
Bro, what?
If we're doing that, then so you got to give it to Enel.
That man was standing on business. No, fuck.
He fought the fight that was basically impossible. Like he was fighting really holy knights for real. Like that. That's the energy that Enel had up there. We ain't know what to do against this man, but I'm going to keep fighting until I can't fight. No, come on now. That was. I'm gonna
do it. Yeah, he said we're gonna figure it out along the way, my boy. Like I think Wiper is a guarantee. Whenever if he shows back up, no doubt in my mind he got Conqueror's Haki.
Really?
Chat, how y'all feel about Wiper having Conquerors, bro?
But ain't worry about that. Chat having the top man moment right. Boards in the chat. Boards in the chat.
Wiper. I would
Wiper the one that had the bazooka, bro. Yeah. Who else?
Wiper is from the one who fought Enel. I was getting him confused with the ancestor. What was his name?
The one that met with
Nolan.
No.
With Nolan? Oh no, I'm talking about Wiper, bro. Wiper killed a lot of
one with Nolan.
Calgara,
right? Yeah, I was thinking about. I got them mixed up.
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about.
I wouldn't be surprised with him either.
Oh, Nolan! I think Nolan got Conqueror's Haki.
I don't know.
Bro. Everybody involved in Scott Pia, like them dudes, man.
Bro, we really like a legendary figure whose name
was going to have in that era would be Nolan.
His name has lasted to now. Like that's legendary, bro. Hey.
And he stood on exactly what he knew was there until the day he was taken.
Even though he cried instead of laughing, he still stood on business.
It be like that, man. Listen, emotions is tough, okay?
Yeah, that is tough. Hey, I wouldn't be no D-Clan member. I'm not finna smile, boy.
And also, your boy Rayleigh, everyone is Luffy.
With Roger, how Roger died and we laughed and we cried like never before. Like there should be no laughing today.
Like when Odin was running down the beach, laughing. No, what am I laughing for? No,
because let's be real, bro. Garb is not crying when he goes out.
That's D-Clan. I think it's D-Clan and Conquerors is two different
Odin.
things,
What about Odin?
Odin he
smiled with his death, bro. Like
I think he's in the D-Clan. It's just not official. I think what the boy's name
Kozuki?
is Kozuki. Yeah,
and the fact that Odin is D-Clan and got that Conqueror gives all those same props to Momonosuke, which shows like, yo, you ain't got to be born a certain way. You could be scary and all that stuff.
JJ Cookie, you on the theory, my boy.
Kaido died with his smile.
Did he?
Kaido's alive.
Yeah, bro, he smiled when Joy Boy defeated him.
Arrow's youngest son is alive.
Man.
I don't know if the smile is a D thing. I mean, maybe it is, but we saw
the smile. I feel like the smile thing has been confirmed to be a D thing, right?
But we saw Chopper's what was his name? Hairlook.
Hey, I mean, it's not exclusive to the D-Clan, but it's like something they do.
They all, man, listen, that's when we first learned about the D in Drum Island. Everybody, yo.
That is true.
Don't sleep on Dr. Correa either.
Hero got Rula D. Whoever was the Germa family leader that conquered the North Blue had Conqueror's Haki. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. And I saw a post the other day talking about how crazy the North Blue really is.
When they conquered it in like 4 days or something, well, it was like a crazy feat, right?
They conquered it fast and they held on to it for like years, right? but it's the toughest sea canonically. Oh, they said over the North Blues to conquer the entire blue. Whoever he was, Vince Smoke. We're gonna call him. We're gonna what am I gonna name him? I don't know, but that nigga had conquered Zaki.
Oda always want to give credit to something that we're not going to see.
Are we really just
how the New World end up being the problem? Then Paradise end up being the problem. Now we got North Blue. Like we ain't never gonna get the North Blue, so he got to make that the most hype is. That's North Blue gonna start in two. That's where 2 Piece gonna start in the North Blue. I'm sure.
Because then it's like, okay, what about Oars? You think Oars had conquered Saki?
Sound the OG Oars,
the OG Oars, who they said conquered the entire land and had like an entire.
If your story involves you conquering something, you got conquer Saki. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's fair, but.
I'm trying to find the story with the German when they conquered the North Blue. I'm just reading a bunch of other shit by Judge. I'm not trying to. Maybe I should just go to Vince Smoke. How about that? How long? I'm trying to say how long. 300 years ago, the Vince Smoke was 66. Okay, they held on to it for 66 days.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, though, that's a whole blue, bro.
But let me ask you this.
That's crazy. Creed conquered East Blue. Come on, bro.
Let's be real. Like I feel like there's a lot. If you took it to the East Blue, anyone could do that, bro.
But this is the East. This is the toughest sea.
That's true.
But still, if we really think about it, if somebody popped up and like conquered the East Blue or tried to, think about who really come from the East Blue, like. Roger. No, Roger come from the Grand Line. Well, but Garp, bro, imagine Garp getting a call at Marine HQ like, yo, it's somebody conquering, trying to conquer the East Blue. It's the most peaceful seas because of the people that come from it.
Yeah, that's true. Dragon, Roger.
But imagine, I'm telling you, as soon as Garp get that call, like, hey, Nick, what? Okay.
Watch the crazy thing is they almost coming from the same village in the East Blue. That's what's really crazy.
Wait, was
ain't nobody coming from Orange like causing mass hysteria?
You got Yasop too. Like, hey, these blue is stacked, bro. We should make a pirate crew for each blue.
Hey, was Vegapunk the Will of D member?
Vegapunk?
No.
Did he smile? No, fuck that guy. I don't like him.
None of his clones is gonna be smiling when they get put down.
Oh no, it was Vivi.
The fact that he tried to cheat death by making these clones lets me know he ain't no.
Exactly.
Chad, what are some other characters that you think had
got no face? How he smart?
Chad, what's some other characters that have Congress Hockey that's unconfirmed?
I thought Low Town was like. Is that in the East Blue? Well, then yeah, okay.
Yeah,
it was
that's
like
where he
it's like a little
born and
buffer area. I thought it was like kind of like Grand Line 0.5 type shit. But yeah, I could be wrong.
What's the list so far? We got Loki, right?
To my unconfirmed conquerors?
Yeah, Loki, Mihawk.
Yasop. Now let me stop. Ben Beckman, though, for sure. Ben Beckman, for sure.
Ben Beckman. Yeah, for sure.
Another North Blue pirate, by the way. Just saying.
Well,
Akainu?
You said Wiper.
And Akainu is also from the North Blue.
I would give it to him, bro. I'll just give it to him. I mean, I feel like you kind of have to.
Is he? Point. I might be making that up, bro. My bad. No, he is from the North Blue. See, bro.
Oars. Joy Boy. We know he has it for sure.
Mihawk.
Sanji. That's fact. Jose Lario Sanji, yeah.
Kobe,
bro. Y'all gotta stop. Yes, Kobe. Yes.
I don't know.
Are we naming people we think have it, or people that
what
are we naming?
Have it, yeah, that
yeah, more than like 90%.
Have it or could unlock it in the future.
Yes, sir. I think that's. You said Wiper. Nah, Kizaru. If Kizaru had it, we would have seen it by now.
Does Dorian Broggie have it?
Dragon. Why you keep talking about Doug Creek, bro?
Green Bull.
Green Bull, yes, sir. Green Bull is.
I don't know, bro. Amazon doesn't have it. Green Bull definitely does not have it.
Green Bull, bro. Big green beard. My bad. Weevil. How about Weevil, bro?
You think Dorian Broggie?
Shirahoshi.
I think if they had it, we would have probably saw it by now, bro.
Yeah, but I don't get Crow.
because
How can you say like
they
Arrow
inherited
has
it.
it, but not Dory and Brogy?
I mean, what did they do? They inherited the crew from Harold,
Because we started this
and
chapter
then
where
just
they're
got
like,
lost
this was the era of Dory and Brogy.
because he left. Like they're like a footnote, really. Like it's like Harold, and then they below them. You know what I'm saying? But that's like if Luffy left the crew and Zoro and Sanji just took over. Not even. Cause they some bum. Well, nah, ain't no bum. These boy lost to Mr. 3, bro. I'm just keeping it real. Dun's
That's
side.
it.
Does Dun's side have Conqueror's Haki? Jen.
Carlos got Conqueror's Haki.
Come on. If we had to pick more unlikely people, Gene or Gene, is it Gene from Don Creed's crew? If I had to give it to somebody from his crew, I would give it to him.
Why
Come on.
him, bro?
Cause, bro,
Maybe
you
just
know
because he
about
fought
them.
Sanji.
That don't got conquerors, then your
Oh,
conqueror
he
is
said Sabo.
negated.
He
Yo.
said Sabo.
But actually, I don't have a but.
Blackbeard.
All right. I don't know, bro. Because I mean, you know, every sign is pointing to Blackbeard having it, but it's just his over reliance on this devil fruit stuff just makes me think he's trying to overcompensate.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just makes 100. Like if you told, like if I was forced to pick, I would say yes, but I feel like he might not.
I agree, Flevins.
I think Momonosuke will have it.
Man, that's gonna be the most
Momonosuke definitely
one-sided.
have it.
Loki and Hadruden doing the Hakaku sovereignty is gonna be like,
But Hadrugan don't got no weapon though. He throw hands, don't he?
man, that shit gonna be ass, bro. It's gonna be a Loki sovereignty, like literally. Hadruden just gonna be the father son coming around, but Gohan not doing nothing, like type shit. Like it's nothing, bro. He's ass. Let's stop it, bro.
See, that's
So,
what I
yo,
mean.
we
Girl,
got
like,
the
can you
first-
imagine a world where Hadruden unlocks Conqueror's Haki?
Oh, it's cooked in. If Hadruden get Conqueror's Haki, I feel like every nigga
But you
in One
said
Piece
anyone can get
has.
it.
I know, but I feel like just because they can don't mean they will. Like I said, it's going to take some extreme circumstance for you to really unlock it. And like I said, everything I'm saying goes back to what Zeph said, which is like about the spear situation, where he was like, Luffy has a spear in his heart that no weapon can break.
Yeah.
And he looked at Sanji, he was like, you have that same spear, but you're chewing on it. I don't think, Hadruden going to ever stop goddamn chewing on the spear.
Okay, well, let's look at the Straw Hats, because there's some people who will say every Straw Hat will get Conqueror Haki.
Real quick before you get to them Straw Hats, I want to just say, like, I think it's really simple. If you were ever under Buggy one way or another, you don't got Conqueror.
Nah, bro.
So
Mihawk got Conqueror.
Crocodile, and that goes for Mihawk.
No, bro. Stop, bro. Mihawk has Conqueror's Haki, bro. I'm not doing this.
Anybody under Buggy cannot be a conqueror. No Mr. One, none of that. Sorry.
Mihawk ain't under him, bro. He's beside him.
Nah, they were part of the Buggy's delivery service, and they are part of Cross Guild, which is by the Yonko Buggy the Clown. Respect the Genghis Jester.
It'd be funny if Loki joined Cross Guild.
Boy, I'd be so mad, boy. Stop, bro. Older guy, at some point, listen, we can. I know you say we gotta get in a little earlier, so we can probably get out of here after this.
Yeah.
At some point, Oda got to stop with this Buggy shit, bro.
Never.
Like, don't take this shit too far.
Buggy
if Buggy finds the fucking One Piece, I'm going to be so fucking mad, bro.
Bucky's going to be the king of the pirates, but accept it. Accept it.
I'm cool.
Luffy's gonna get the award and not care about the title because he already gonna know what it is. Right. But Buggy needs that title to live the life he wants to live.
Bro. At some point, gimmicks gotta end.
Shanks is gonna die, and Luffy's getting that straw hat to Buggy.
Gimmicks have to end, bro. Let's wrap it up, my boy. He's a Yonko. Cool. He can make it to Lab Tail, maybe. And at that point, when he get to Lab Tail, his dreams need to be crushed. I don't need nothing else after that, bro.
Yeah, but if Buggy got to Lab Tail, I'll be cool if he just, because Buggy's whole dream was from the beginning where he's like, treasure is like gold and riches and everything. So if we get to Laugh Tale and he gets some of that gold, I'd be cool with that. But it's
I
like,
think he gonna get there for sure.
yeah, I mean, it would be fine. I'll be fine with it if he got some treasure. Like, but he can't be the centerpiece of Laugh Tale, bro.
I think he gotta find St. John's Church. Was it Saint? I said
Why
St. John's.
not though?
Because it
Don't
ruins
tell me.
It's
Luffy's
Luffy's dream, bro.
moment,
Like,
bro.
Yo,
This is Luffy and
Yo,
Robin's
yo.
moment.
we like I'm sorry. You gotta bring some of that daggone pre-time skip energy to the end of the show. And every time that we see Buggy, he's literally climbing the ladder. Why would he not climb it to the pinnacle of the world? Why not?
Because it's so
Because
undeserved,
the
bro.
joke is that he's
Buggy-
undeservedly failing upward. But if it's undeserving, at some point that has to come back and punch him in the face how he doesn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
So how about
Otherwise,
the
the
fact
payoff
that
would never really. What's up?
So how about the fact that his awakened fruit could literally be the thing that saves the world and brings down the world government? We can only imagine what his we can only imagine what his awakening could do, but like if he's able to put things together and everything with other elements, maybe he's able to break the grand line just with his awakening. Stop playing,
bruh.
What you mean? It's
This
Buggy.
motherfucker can't even
You
fly
trolling,
with
bro.
shoes.
You troll it.
If this nigga takes off flying, he loses his feet. And you think he finna repiece the world back together like he God or something? On the 7th day, Buggy did. No, that's not what happened, bro. There's no shot.
Because the thing is, even if Buggy awakened his fruit, he wouldn't be able to take advantage of it the same way Luffy would.
Man.
They're gonna do it together. They're gonna do it together. I'm telling y'all, the way Big News Morgan is gonna warp this story, Buggy is gonna be one of the greatest heroes that we've ever experienced. I'm just letting y'all.
I'm gonna tell you,
prepare yourselves now.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you why I know it's gonna wind up coming back to fall on his face. Because until now, Buggy has been climbing the ladder unintentionally. Like he doesn't want this stuff, but it keeps finding him somehow. But now Buggy has finally declared, like, fuck it. We're going to go for it. Like, he's actually bought into it. Now he's going to go for the One Piece. And after him doing that, that's when it's going to be like, now it's time to stop this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Is there a chance, is there a possibility? Because we know Shanks even brought it up again, bro. And it was like, so there's a point of this where Shanks now, even at his old age, is thinking about Buggy probably. Is there a chance where they merge crews?
I think I remember I told y'all that the final fight of One Piece is going to involve Buggy.
Yeah, but like, because Shanks said, I planned I would go and find the One Piece with Buggy one day. But
what it's going to be is these 3 crews make it to Laugh Tale. Crossgill, Red Hair, Straw Hat.
All 4 of them. Blackbeard making it too.
I think Luffy taking Blackbeard out before, or he might meet him like after later. But it's the reason why, because that right there fixes every matchup issue we have possible.
Yeah, it's true.
Luffy versus Shanks instead of fucking Buggy,
and instead of Blackbeard.
And then you got Zoro versus Mihawk.
It's actually, it makes sense without Blackbeard's crew. If Blackbeard's in there, bro, it's too much chaos.
Yeah, it's 4.
He's
it's 4 crews.
Like,
I can see Shanks and Luffy and Buggy meeting together and be like, we finna have a Davy back fight. This is how we gonna do it.
So you think
like Blackbeard wouldn't be willing to cooperate? I think Sanji fighting Ben Beckman.
Oh,
no, Ben
Beckman.
Beckman. And then Yasopp and Usopp.
And then Jinbei and Lucky Roo.
Jinbei and Lucky Roo. I don't know, man. Robin and Crocodile, though.
And look, we still don't know. I feel like there's more people that would join Crossgill. There's at least one big name that will join.
Weevil. Are we gonna put Weevil on the potential conquerors list?
Weevil, Doflamingo, somebody is joining, bro. Like, I
got the genes, bro. Who better to lead Jobo's vision of a world than the? Okay, buddy.
I just think we looking at the story of Buggy completely wrong, man. We got introduced. We wouldn't even know nothing about the Grand Line if it wasn't for Buggy having the map for us to be able to get to the Grand Line. So he was already trying to make big plays. Before we got to the Grand Line, Buggy was about to there would be no One Piece if it wasn't for Luffy's father actually deciding to be a father for the first day of his life, like everything that's in regards to Luffy, Buggy plays a part of that. So I don't see why we wouldn't think that he would be a big part of the end. Well, I feel like y'all giving him his credit, but I'm just saying, man, this show is all about like perception, and everything that matters involves Buggy. So I don't know why we wouldn't perceive Buggy to be one of the most important characters come the end of everything. Y'all just
I think he will be. I'm trying to. I mean, we're getting it from Shanks. Like the more we see Shanks, the more we hear about Buggy too. But like I said, all right, we can go and we can wrap it up after this. There's something about the falling upwards trope that leads to everything coming crashing down on you eventually. And that's what's going to happen. I don't think because it cheapens Luffy's. I don't care what y'all say. Luffy not getting the glory of becoming a pirate king. I don't care what nobody says. If Luffy didn't care about bounty, because he gets excited when his bounty goes up. So it's not like he doesn't care about fame. Like it's just we can't.
Luffy,
you know what I'm saying?
Do you think Luffy? I don't think does Luffy. Let me ask you this: Does Luffy have an ego? Because I feel like he doesn't really care about the title of Pirate King for the reason that maybe like a kid would or a Buggy. I don't think he even really cares. Like, didn't he say that? Didn't Luffy say that?
Luffy's competitive. If you're talking about in regard to an ego.
Yeah, like
I think the fact that he says I'm no hero, like he's selfish.
Yeah, but
and him sharing the mantle of Pirate King with Buggy just kills that shit to me. Like I would hate that.
Yeah, I mean he was we saw when Kid and Law at the end of Wano, we saw he was kind of competitive, but Luffy doesn't really care about Pirate King for the same reason. Like I think he really just wants it for it's like a means to an ends for his dream.
I agree with that, but I feel like at the end of the day, like we don't even know his other dream, but every time Luffy answer the phone, like, what's up? It's the man that's gonna be the Pirate King. Like he cares about being a Pirate King, bro. I'm gonna read this Flevins don't know that we can probably
do you think he cares about it for fame or just for his own ego? I'm saying like
I think he cares about it I think fame is a fact. Like I said, he wouldn't be excited about his bounty going up if he didn't care about the fame aspect of it.
I don't know.
That's infamy.
I think it just shows progress. I don't think Luffy cares about fame at all. I just think Luffy just wants to be able to do what he wants. And doing the work that he's doing comes with the notoriety of receiving those bounties. So it's basically like, yeah,
it's like the
world is recognizing my work.
Yeah, it's a reality that you've come this far. Yeah, I see it more
so
like that.
So if you get recognized for becoming the king of the pirates, is that not the end journey?
Yeah,
end of,
I'm saying I don't think his motivation is fame, bro. Like I don't.
No, it's not his motivation. I'm just saying I don't think he just doesn't give a fuck. Like he don't be like, oh,
I don't think he does,
people,
bro. Because
bro, I feel like because a part of his freedom that he achieves for being a pirate king is people knowing he's a pirate king. If being the king of the pirates, in Oda's words,
but Luffy has never been like the guy where he's like, oh, you don't know me, I'm a Yonko type guy. Like I really don't think.
No, I didn't say he got to be all that. I'm just saying if being a pirate king is the freest man on the sea, in Oda's words, the knowledge of you being a pirate king factors into that. Otherwise, he's just another pirate.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Buggy is going to get something. He's going to get that treasure. I feel like that's another like that treasure. Who was I keep saying St. John's for some reason. What was the name of the treasure?
But let's think about it. Like if Luffy interacted with some random kid who didn't know anything about pirates, he didn't know who Luffy was. Don't you think he would? I think Luffy would value that more than some guy who's like, "Oh, you're the Pirate King" type thing. Like he doesn't care about that stuff.
That's true. Yeah, I'm saying he don't care about it from a bragging perspective, but he still. I don't like he. It's a competition thing. It's like the race. The one to gain the one is winning a race. Like you're winning it, and for him to actually win the race, but it'd be like we're gonna give Buggy
it's more like it's how JJ said. It's like a progress update.
Yeah. But for him to get to the end of that road and then it'd be like, well, yeah, you got it, but somebody else gonna take all the credit. No fucking shot, bro.
Man, Buggy, I think like it
comes to an
Luffy,
end.
I don't even think Luffy knows like how Roger became king of the pirates. I think he just heard the title and he just felt like it was something that was good. I think Luffy literally looks within himself when it comes to him being able to be the king. I could go to this country and I'm straight. I think that's really what Luffy thinks of it as more than anything, more than like a specific label. But when Buggy becomes king of the pirates, it's going to be on his ship. You know, it's going to be a part of his mask, like all of that. He's going to make sure you know of that label. But you know, Luffy within himself knows that he could go anywhere in the world and not have to worry about nothing, and he can eat all the delicacies of that country. That's what being free is to Luffy.
Buggy is gonna find Captain John's treasure. He's going to think that is the One Piece, and he's gonna parade around as if he's found it. But the world, I guess my disconnect here is if the world at large leaves this this whole situation not respecting Luffy's position as the king of the pirates, whether Luffy cares or not, that kind of makes everything that we went through feels like pointless.
Man.
Are you reading that super chat?
I'm not reading it out loud, but I can see Buggy like his it's gonna be fulfilled where it's like, this is all I wanted my whole life. I finally found a One Piece, and it's like something else, or it's Captain John's treasure. But like, as far as him actually become the king of pirates, and Luffy just not looked at, because like you said, Luffy found out about Roger, yes, but Buggy being Captain John's treasure would be fire. But Luffy found out about Roger because of Roger's notoriety. He had to be the most famous pirate in the world for Luffy to find out about that. If it was like Roger just taking it and some other, but Rocks was actually the king of pirates, it would be like, well, Roger a fraud. Well, that's how we would look at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's introduced with wealth, fame, and power. If Luffy don't got all three of them, then he ain't no true king of the pirates to me.
How did Luffy even find out about Roger? You know, Luffy don't read. Did Garp just keep coming back to Fuchsia Village complaining and, just maybe overheard something? Like, I don't really know.
I think Shanks told him.
Probably Shanks. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Well, maybe Ace.
Nah,
I mean, he got a lot of connections.
Ace would have had him hating Roger if it was Ace.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting but I don't know, because Garp and Ace hated Roger in some sense, and then you have Shanks coming in like, this guy was the greatest pirate ever. You think Shanks?
Right, I mean,
do you think Shanks told Luffy that Roger was his captain?
No, he didn't know.
Oh, he didn't know, right? Because Rayleigh told him.
Yeah, Rayleigh was the one that told him. But I'm pretty sure he spoke of him, though. He only knows Roger from... Well,
yeah. Why does Shanks have to be this like nonchalant, cool guy where he's like not bringing up
the fake Roger mysterious, pirate?
Bro? Yeah, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, if it was Buggy, Buggy would be over exaggerating everything that he did in that crew.
Let me find Shanks and Ricky. Oh no, y'all want to wrap it up?
I'm over here thinking about Luffy wanting to be stronger than Shanks' crew. But like, when did the actual King of the Pirates thing start becoming a part of his destiny? That's really interesting.
I think it's probably something you really couldn't avoid hearing about. Like, even when we got like when you see Ace as a kid, like he's just in the bar and people sitting there talking about Roger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure Luffy heard it at Makino's bar from somebody. And he probably did wind up asking Shanks, like, hey, I said, you're a pirate. You ever heard about Roger before? Yada, yada, yada. And he probably, same with Garp, he's like, oh, you're a Marine. So did you ever meet Roger? Garp probably like, nah, don't fuck with him. And Shanks was like, yeah, bro, he was a great man. I never met him, though. Type shit.
Yo, we may get like 3 backstories from Shanks. Like,
do you want to?
We gotta get.
Is there any interest in the Ben Beckman backstory with Shanks?
Yeah, because I think I don't know where it was like stated. It was like Shanks like seeked out all of these people that were already famous pirates or famous figures. Yeah, and it's like we know Yasa was the first, but I know in one of the old data books it is stated that Ben Beckman was already famous before he joined Shanks' crew. So. Well, not famous, but like a known pirate, a strong pirate before you join Shanks.
We can end on this topic, but let's do the backstories. We need to know, because you mentioned the characters that we need to know certain backstories. Which one did
Shanks
you
at
said Mihawk,
every
right?
Mihawks will be short, but we need it. We gotta learn how to
Mihawk's
make the black
And then
part
you
of
boy.
said
Shanks.
Zoro will get a second one probably. Um,
Mihawk part of Shanks is
I'm not gonna
nuts.
lie, bro. I really want a Brook backstory now.
Oh, we gotta get Akainu, bro.
Gotta get Akainu, yeah.
Probably raised by
I think
power.
we're gonna get the whole the OG admirals. I think they're gonna lump all three of them together and kind of like tell a little bit about what happened beforehand, and then what gave them the justice that they decided to roll with.
I think we cool on Kizuru. You know what I'm saying? But, if we get, I mean, look, we'd had too many chances. If we ain't got Kizuru backstory yet, we'll be all right. We can get when all three of them first met each other, though. I like that. Oh, yeah, we skipped Flevis in Super Chat. Blackbeard will swallow Luffy whole and doing I tried to avoid the crazy stuff, but I still walked into it. But he'll be a lunar eclipse. I like that. I like the idea if you remove the bait out of the topic. You know what I'm saying?
You know, when there's one thing about One Piece, and people always want more answers and more backstories. But I think I can judge a character if I don't even need the backstory, bro. I don't even need Blackbeard's backstory, and he's still one of the most raw characters of One Piece.
He crazy. We're gonna get it, but he crazy.
Like,
all right, Gaban and Rayleigh. Y'all think we're getting
there?
there? Like, do y'all think we're gonna get like what made Gaban and Rayleigh who they are?
Like a Roger kind of flashback type thing.
Like,
Roger
for
Pirates?
example, like, and this goes into prior conversations, but like looking at the Straw Hat Pirates, and you look at Zoro, who wanted to be the world's strongest swordsman, Sanji, all blue. Do you think that Rayleigh and Gaban had something like that? I'm leaning towards no.
I don't know,
because
it's possible.
I feel like if they had like a dream like that to achieve, they would have achieved it, and we would have heard about it. Like, let's say Rayleigh wanted to be the world's strongest swordsman during his time, he would have. When we meet him, like, you don't think this would have been mentioned at all?
Maybe Gaban's was like, I want to have a girlfriend on every island,
and he probably got it.
I don't know.
But as far as like a large overarching dream alongside the other one, I think both of their dreams became to make Roger the Pirate King. I don't think they had like some whole little other thing on the side, because they initially, they was just pirates at first. They weren't like trying to find the One Piece.
Do we know what roles they played on Roger's ship?
Just first mate for Rayleigh, and just lover of women for Gaban.
I think Rayleigh's could be maybe it's not his role, but it seemed like Rayleigh was into like coding ships and some other kind of
oh yeah,
he probably has something.
Yeah, that's a weird job to take up after retiring.
Probably
if
something
it's not something you're into.
Rayleigh, yeah, but that's probably maybe just a hobby or something.
But that kind of leads into it. Like, he just got a random hobby. Like, so like I don't think Rayleigh was, like I said, I hear just like, I'm gonna be the king of the swordsman, or Gaban talking about I'm gonna be like I'm gonna draw a map of the world or some shit. Like, I think some niggas just pirates,
ships,
bro.
right? Well, he did something with the ship.
He called it Luffy them shit.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
I think some people just wanted to be pirates, especially when you consider that initially Roger's crew wasn't like out to find a One Piece. They was just being pirates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there wasn't even that like pirate culture really back then.
It was just freedom.
So you think it was because what was Roger's dream then? To just travel the world?
I think for Roger to have the One Piece, I mean, for Roger, yeah, it's probably the same as Luffy's dream, first of all. But for him to have that straw hat, he had to have like information from someone
about the One Piece,
like just about something, like maybe not the One Piece in particular, but like that there was something out there that he could have looked to find. Because like when he's asking for Odin, he's like, it's still some out there I need, that we're trying to figure out.
I kind of
we've conquered the Grand Line, but we haven't.
Even though
it's like we missing something.
Was a thing that came because of Roger, I always assumed like there was an ancient pirate treasure that was always like maybe the One Piece was always like a legendary treasure even before Roger's era.
It just wasn't like as mainstream. It's like how everybody, it's like blowing up as like Roger was like the first big rapper, then he inspired a bunch of SoundCloud rappers. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. So that's why the government tried to, keep all that information, hidden, so that people wouldn't go out and try to find things to do what they got to do to change how the world is operated. People didn't even know about the One Piece.
I mean, yeah, because what
They
would
was doing a
Rayleigh's
great
dream
job.
even be?
Because so apparently this is controversial, but Rayleigh, from what I think, one thing we've come to learn about Oda, or we need to figure out, is that if he wants us to be curious about something, if he wants to tell us something, he will tell us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he wanted to tell us at this point that Rayleigh was like at some point trying to be the world's strongest swordsman, or that the admirals had conqueror's haki outside, like Kizaru had conqueror's haki, some shit, we would
Well, I'll tell you
either
this,
A, we would know, or would
Rayleigh's
have some
dream is
inkling about
definitely
it.
not being the world's strongest swordsman, bro. Because you
I
got
don't. Yeah, I
Roger
have. I
standing
don't
right
think
next
so.
to you.
That's true. But that's probably when we get to this. But I think if Rayleigh had a black blade, then I would be like, maybe that was his dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think people just want him to be like Zoro in every way possible, and that's not realistic. It's like they're similar in certain personality traits, but their stories had to be different. And
maybe Roger made Bragman and Tales and approve him. Bragman Tale. Maybe it was Louis Arnault. Like maybe he wrote about the One Piece.
So what's another?
Ready to wrap it up? Oh, another backstory.
The essential.
Flavor said Dragon. Yeah, we getting Dragon. Essential backstory. We got to get Joy Boy's backstory.
I want NL, bro.
Joy Boy.
NL is the most incomplete villain ever.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. He's done, bro. Let it go.
It's just like, bro, I can't watch Skypiea without thinking like, what is this character, bro? This is the most half-assed villain in One Piece.
Thanks. That's why the arc sucks. No, I ain't gonna say it sucks. We get a Enel backstory. Just give us a Moria backstory. Just give us everybody.
Enel is a fun character. The problem is he's just incomplete. And there's like
the problem is that Skypiea feels like it was just dropped into the narrative, and it felt like it just grinded everything else to a halt. Like that's what makes Skypiea feel.
Don't get it, Skypiea, bro, you have Nolan's backstory was so good, and then you just completely, you don't even attempt NL's.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It felt like a lot of stuff. My problem with Skypiea was it felt like you're finally getting momentum as far as Luffy, progressing as a pirate. He took down a warlord. It's like, all right, we're gonna take you somewhere that's like completely detached from the world, and nothing we do here is gonna have any type of implications or any type of relevance to the Blue Sea, which is what you're actually trying to conquer. So it just feels like he gets snatched out of the story for a little bit. And that would work if it was interesting, or that if the villain was compelling, but it's just not. Like, damn.
And that was entertaining on his own, which is fine. But the problem is, like, Oda leads us with many questions, like, why did he just blow up his entire island? How does he know about all these things? Like, he knows so much more that, like, he implies certain things. Same thing with how people don't like with Kaido's backstory. Like, we didn't get enough. But at least we got something with Kaido, bro. We didn't get anything with NL.
Worse. And then, like, we know, like, Kaido is going to be linked with
Rocks Pirates, yeah.
With Rocks and all that. But NL just feels dropped in this, like,
you feel like, God. Like, we got, like, now with the Oni lineage, like, the ancient giants, there's going to be more with Kaido.
That's the issue.
I think, once your Rose come around, I think we get some more NL information. But
Rose is for sure. We got to get a Rose backstory.
Heaven Realm, book it.
That's what I'm thinking. Heaven Realm. Rocks. I'm thinking those people that had something to do with Harold telling Harold that he couldn't marry Ida. I think they came from the Heaven Realm as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of their stuff all culminated together.
Crocodile backstory, bro. At some point, you know what I'm saying? Some of these niggas are dying, bro.
Crocodile, no.
Crocodile backstory.
You want Crocodile or no?
Imagine, no. Fuck no. As far as we are into this story, imagine getting a goddamn Crocodile backstory. I mean, if we got into some of these motherfuckers getting SBS backstories, all right? If Zoro got it, then,
I think Oda should just do a thing at the end of One Piece where he just does like he does like episodes where like maybe the anime wants to continue some backstories or I don't know, something different. Like the Ace.
If we get his Gaban backstory, he's gonna die. That's what I feel.
Man, he better not die. I'm gonna be pissed off.
If we get a Gaban backstory, he's going to be on Elbath as it explodes, as
I
it
don't
get
know, bro. 'Cause
Lelucia.
we said the same thing with Kuma, and I mean,
Man, if Gaban died, but Kuma walking around here repaired and shit, I know something, boy. Now, Oda, you gotta what you talk about? Oda got a bad relationship with women? No, Oda has a bad relationship with old men. This motherfucker always try to kill old niggas, bro. But you can't kill these young dudes out here risking
hey, man,
their
that's the
lives
future,
every
bro.
day.
You gotta.
Man, shit,
He's
man.
every old man that's going through the ringer is going through it in the most heroic way possible. Yasui, Garb, Gaban literally just got 3 arrows put through his chest. Like when them old people get put down, they get put down in a way that you honor that. Like that's not a problem.
Man,
These
fuck
women
that.
though, like every backstory involves a toxic woman. Like it's crazy.
I have a question about
That body
Blackbeard's crew.
double
Were
isn't
they his
even
crew before
necessary.
he broke them out? I don't think Blackbeard knew the crew. I think he met all of them at Impel Down, like all of the extras. Because even with Shiryu, it's like he was like, I heard about you. I don't think he knew him though.
You know, definitely
And
need
also,
a
that's a
backstory,
bomb.
bro. Captain
Shiryu?
Morgan's needs a backstory.
All right. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You know
Preach?
what? If we go do obscure
Or
characters,
big
ain't
news
a
Morgan. My
backstory.
bad. Big news.
The old
Okay,
nigga.
oh my
I can deal with that. The old guy from Luffy's hometown, the mayor. He can. I can see him getting a very small backstory.
Yeah, but his
related to,
backstory
like-
will be something with Garp.
Yeah.
He gonna be part of Roger's crew. Watch, he gonna be the
Rocks, bro.
cabin
He
boy
gonna
or
be a
something.
Rocks pirate.
Do you think Garp's backstory will be something different from? I'll be honest, bro. Garp could get a whole anime, and I'll be cool with it.
I think it's gonna be like a Monkey D backstory where like we just go through the different, like kind of like how Harold bled into Loki. I think Garp is gonna bleed into dragons.
I really think like that Monkey D backstory, like that may take up a whole year. I'm not playing, yo.
Bruh,
I
I
don't know
please.
about
The
that,
Odin
bro.
backstory was so fucking long, bruh. Man, I don't think I mean, if
I
it was to
think
be someone, I
it's
would want
gonna
it to
be
be the Monkey D,
Void
but
Century for sure is gonna be a long one. That might be a year.
yeah, Void Century. Who else, bro?
Yeah,
Somebody
how do you
guarantee?
how do you tell a Void Century? That's 100 years, bro. Like
Emu.
But I'm saying like in a manga setting where like do you think it's we get to the One Piece and Robin's like explaining it for like a 20 chapters straight? She's just narrating it.
I mean, I think it's easy to skip through time. Like I said, with the way he's been doing this Harold backstory.
Nah, bro. Not with Joy Boy, bro. Like you can't do that.
I mean, it's not gonna have to be. It's gonna be more detailed than Harold's. Don't get me wrong, but we were making big jumps in time, like to just show me the significant events. You know what I'm saying?
I don't, because I feel like with Joy Boy,
Panda
you
Man
kind of have to
backstory,
have some
by the way.
kind of emotional connection. Well, like he
I
has to
think
feel
the
like a
Void
main
Centuries,
character in a sense where like Roger kind of feels the way he feels.
I think that the Void Century backstory is going to be told in a way where it's told like alongside Luffy's journey. You know what I'm saying? Like we might like revisit Luffy's stops, but see it from like how Joy Boy went there. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be interesting.
It's possible.
There ain't gonna be no reverse mountain though, but that'd be interesting.
Yeah, red line might not exist, but by the way, when my boy Sanji, his biggest feat is gonna be destroying the red line with a kick. That's how they're gonna create the all blue. Watch, book it.
Because I just feel like with the Void
He's
Century,
going-
you got so many characters at play already. You got a Joy Boy, then you got Lily, you got Zunisha, you got
your favorite
Monkey
power
D
scaler,
family, whatever. Like Zunisha.
You got the Marshall D
Toki.
family.
You got the
You
Marshall
got
Ds,
the
you got the Monkey
Kozuki.
Ds.
You got Toki.
And then you got like this whole war and everything going on. You got the Elbath
Ryuma, bro.
Giants.
Ryuma.
Yeah, man. Like it's just so much.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, the Sora character from the German comics, I think that character is gonna come back up in the story too.
Yeah, you got Bing Sake probably in there.
Big Binks, yes sir. I think we know about Joy Boy. We just don't know it was Joy Boy until we learn his real name. Was it like an animal or something? Like, what if Joy Boy was turned into an animal and forced to be an animal? Kind of like Zunisha was probably turned into an elephant, man. I don't know. I think Joy Boy did though. They had to get that boy out of here. Vanderdecken? Oh, the OG Vanderdecken. I don't care what y'all say. We got a Mihawk backstory.
Yeah, what would that look like?
Holy Night.
Him being left in the treasure chest by Rayleigh.
Don Krieg is gonna go. We're gonna get a Krieg backstory too, man. We're gonna go all the way back to when Mihawk and Krieg met in the Grand Line. That's where it ends. He was really on some childish shit though, chasing this man all the way back to the East Blue, bruh.
He's a petty guy, yeah.
And that's crazy, bruh.
Or Joe.
I mean, you gotta be.
Might as well just Marines or something.
He used to be the Marine hunter.
He could actually made himself a challenge.
Yeah, fraud. But y'all ready to wrap it up, man?
Yeah.
We certainly can, man.
Chat, we really appreciate y'all. Y'all was very active and fun today. Shout out to Tornado and Wheel of Dreams was basically here from start to finish, bro.
Appreciate you, Will, as always. Flevins, Top Man Squad, Team Top Man Forever. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, it was fun, bro. It was started off a little slow because it was just us two. We didn't, but we picked it up. Shout out to Prince, by the way. He had something pop up. He couldn't make it. But,
absolutely.
He's a legend in his own right, of course.
No chapter next week.
Nope. We probably took a break too. I'm gonna be out of town for the 4th of July, so yeah, I'm probably not gonna be able to stream.
Me too.
My son broke my laptop, bro, so I can only do my PC now, bro.
He that strong? He got that Loki strength?
Bro, he was, and we can end it after this. He was walking with my laptop because he absolutely hates YouTube ads, right? So the ad popped up and he picks the laptop up and he brings it to me across the room. I skipped the ad for him. And by the time he made it to me, the ad was over, whatever. And I set it back up. So he's walking back to the couch he was sitting on, and then he one of his trucks is on the floor and he tries to step over it. His foot hit it. And when his foot hit it, he just throws the laptop down on the ground and cracks the screen, bro. I was like, all right, bro. That was a very dramatic reaction to just your foot hit something, but okay, man. It's all good. I just gotta get my screen fixed. It's gonna be $500, but I'll probably just get another fucking laptop at that point, man. That's a lot of money.
I was thinking.
Mm-mm. All right,
y'all boys be safe, man. Appreciate it. OPU, we do what we do.